Hey y'all. Y'all know it's Thursday. Y'all know I got my water. Y'all know Lisa got her wine. Jay probably got water too. And I'm sure Bonnie's somewhere with a drink in her hand too. Okay? Is y'all ready for us to come along with all the craziness of this week? Everybody ready? And here we are. Okay, y'all can't see us yet, but guess what? We are still here. Okay, round here and stuff. Hey, ladies.
Hey, happy Thursday, y'all.
Happy Thursday. It's almost Friday.
Yes.
Welcome
Friday
to the ladies first panel. Okay, we are all here. Y'all know our boo, Bondi Blue, is on vacation. Okay, up in California having a good old time. We love her, but she is also in the chat. Okay, so she would not be missed. Well, we miss her because she ain't here, but she's still here, so we can't miss her because she's still here. Okay, so don't worry about that.
Comments in here in spirit.
You know, the essence is here and everything. Okay, how's y'all week going so far?
It's going good. It's been busy.
Yeah,
I know. I can't wait.
Here, but
yeah. My mom in the chat someday gonna wear. I know because she's always around somewhere. But it has been a crazy week with different news and stuff happen. Stuff happened today. Stuff gonna happen tomorrow. But again, we're gonna first start it off with our favorite game that we let her play to see who we're gonna do things with. So let's get ready. To really be a part of the game of it all, okay? We love that little sound. So last night I could not think. Look, it was like 4 a.m. I'm like, who am I gonna pick? I need some people. And I was like, ooh, I got all these folks in my head. And so I did pick, you know what I'm saying, some people to pick from, okay? So the first little group, it's the couples, okay? It's what couples, you know, what you want to marry.
You said
or kid. It's couples, okay? Now, you know, I don't know what y'all gonna want to do with these or whatever, but I thought it was funny. So we have Porsha and Cordell, Sheree Whitfield and Bob, or Kevin Croy, okay?
Shout out to the formation of the pictures, though. You adjusted.
Okay, yeah, I had to last night because I was trying to block our. See, I was trying to be prepared because somebody suggested Dennis, Simon, and Cordell. I'm like, oh, I was like, no, what's better is because we can't. This is a hard little choice to marry, fucking to kill or whatever. So I'm like, who would you marry and then fuck and then kill?
I can't help but think about every time I seen Bob on screen, the way he was sweating. He sweat through any t-shirt he was wearing. Oh my God.
It's a couple. Because you got it's both. It's both.
Oh, help me, Father.
So who would you go with, Niecy?
Oh, honey.
You know, it's
like
oh goodness. Okay. All right. I got this. So my Mary is gonna be. I got married a couple.
Yes, the whole couple.
I keep thinking about one, but not the other.
Honey, and I'm looking at these eyes on Bob. Help me.
They gonna every way. Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, fine. I got it. I'm marrying Kim and Croy. Okay.
Okay.
And the reason why is because it's mainly for Croy. Croy is gonna do what he needs to do as a husband. Come pick me up from any event that I want to leave. Drop me off when I'm ready to go. He's gonna do that. Kim will get on my nerves. However, Kim is doing something right to do the bare minimum and still have her own TV show and make money and have brand deals. So for that reason, I could marry them. Smash. First guess I would have said smash Porsha and Cordell, but based on, you know, her real friendly spirit and the way she liked to move, it would just had to be a kill for me. And then on top of that, Porsha saying that Cordell really ain't into women like that, it's just gonna be a kill for me. So I'm smashing Sheree and Bob, even though that's not what I really want to do. So I'm marrying Kim and Croy. I'm smashing Sheree and Bob, and Porsha and Cordell can go. This was probably the worst group we had.
It keeps saying entanglement eyes.
It is entanglement eyes. It is.
I'm trying not to talk about the man's eyes.
I tried to picture with his eyes going the right way, but they weren't. I could not find any focused eyes. So I just had to do what I had to do.
Oh, geez, Louise. This is so hard. I can't do anything with Kim and Croy, so they would definitely be KKK for Kim, Croy, Q. Can't do them. I would end up being Sweetie, which is a slave. Yikes! So can't do that. So let's see here. Who's the lesser of the two evils? Let's see.
Probably Sheree.
I don't even know. This is terrible. I have absolutely no explanation. I'll probably just marry Porsha Cordell because Porsha knows she good at just hopping in some situations anyway and just getting engaged to anybody. So I just get engaged to Porsha, and then I'm just gonna send Sheree on her way because she can't guarantee me stability. Her nor Bob. So Porsha know how to go out in the bag. So I'm gonna have to just go ahead and marry her, probably smash Sheree and them and send them on their way, and this is so difficult.
See, for me, I would marry Cordell and Porsha because Cordell has dildos. Okay, I told you I have to be somebody has to have the extra dildo. Cordell probably does. Okay, so for me, it's like double the trouble. It's like two penises in one, but I'll be a threesome. So I'm like, I would do, you know what I'm saying, Cordell and Porsha because Porsha not gonna be there that much anyway. So I'm like, it's fine. So I would marry them. I would probably smash Kim and Croy because I feel like at the time Kim would be somewhere smoking a cigarette, so I would not have to deal with her that much since this fucking Croy is kind of fine. I would kill Bob and Sheree, like kill them, like dead, smash, go away. Because Sheree gives me overly strong tease, but not like a good butch, but like this something I don't want. And then Bob, I need to see where we going, and I can't see with Bob, so I would just have to let Bob fall by the wayside. So I'm glad y'all was able to pick who y'all will be with. I was like, I cracked up laughing at like 2 a.m. Like, what we gonna do? So the second set of men, okay, this is just the men's, marry, fuck, kill. We have Killer Eric, Big Booty Ryan, and punk ass Chris as Married at First Sight alumni. Who would y'all marry? Who would y'all fuck? And who would y'all kill? Okay.
You could have at least put Jacob up here as an option.
Exactly.
That would have been too easy. We would all either marry the back because we like Jacob.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
I told y'all I couldn't figure out nothing left. This is when I can't think of anybody, this is what pops in my head. The people we hate.
You want to go first, Jay?
I'll go first. Lord help us. Right, that's exactly what's in my head. I'll probably have to marry Big Booty Ryan. I'll have to just, marry him. He'll never say he loves me or anything like that, but I guess it'll be all right because I probably won't say it back either. Unfortunately, I'll have to smash punk ass Chris and see what the hype was about with Miss Old Paige and her having to keep running back. And I'm gonna have to kill Eric before Eric kill me, and that's just that.
Thank you, April.
Okay. I really don't think that Chris's peen is hidden for nothing, to be honest. I wouldn't know anything about that, but just something tells me it's not.
Ain't that big.
Because anybody can be addicted to sex. But I just don't know. I really just feel like as much as Paige clinged on to that marriage, she would have clinged on to whatever peen was handed to her because that's what God intended for her.
For me.
Exactly.
For me, I'm with you, Jamie. I'm going to have to marry Ryan. Gosh. I would just say smash Eric, but I feel like he would probably call me the N-word while we have sex. Or some weird shit, okay?
He probably don't.
I would say that, but gosh, I don't say it out loud. I guess I'll have to smash Chris. It's not what I want to do. And then Eric would have to go. Gosh.
Kill
so, it's tough,
kill you.
Yeah, just look.
Right.
So I would marry Ryan because he's the easy pick. He's the easiest one. Would I kill the killer? Or would I be with the killer? You know, I feel like I should fuck Eric simply to kill him. Like a Black Widow spider. And then I can also kill Chris.
Oh, come on. You cheating game.
Well, no, because if you fuck somebody and you kill him, it's okay if you kill him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If I kill him a little bit, it's enough, kill him. Feel like I think I can get away with that because a part of me feel like Eric might be good in bed because he's really crazy.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking the same thing, but it's just something about him with this flag paraphernalia every single scene that we see him in. Where I'm just like,
and I can burn the house down. I can burn all the stuff away. Because when I sleep with him, I'm gonna be there for a day or two, right? And so when he's sleeping, I can just set the house on fire, and then all his Trump stuff is gone.
Yeah, he gonna get you before you get him.
It's gonna be a fight to the death. It's gonna be like Jason and Freddy Krueger. I'm gonna have to kill him. The killer gonna kill the killer. So if I had sex with Eric, I'm gonna set his house on fire. He gonna try to kill me. I have to then kill him in self-defense. And then I can sue his family because his family got money. They're on planes. So now I got money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I'm fine. So that's what I think I would do. Because I don't want to bang Chris because I feel like Chris has diseases. I feel like Chris' penis might be so nice. I would like it. And that would make me upset. I don't want to like it. So I'd rather bang Eric and kill him than bang Chris and like him. Like I don't want it. I just don't want it.
That's what I was stuck in between.
Y'all know my mind be crazy sometimes.
Yeah, you found the whole cheat code. I feel like you played the whole Sims game, went through the back door and figured it out. That's what I'm about to do.
I had to figure it out because I'm like, I don't want to like Chris because Chris is a horrible human being. Well, so was Eric. So was April, but not April. Not April. What's her name? The girl, the white girl.
Virginia.
Haley?
Yes. No, the other one. Yeah, Haley.
Okay.
Haley's horrible too. I don't like Haley. But those are my love picks for them. Now the next group we have is a little older, not old, but older, like in their 50s maybe. Well, in their 50s or whatever. So. Who would you marry and kill? Okay, we have Kenny Lattimore, Maxwell, and Keith Sweat.
Ooh,
I thought this was a good, distinguished gentleman, version of it. I would bang all three of them. To me, they were good picks. I was like, I don't know.
I would definitely marry Kenny Lattimore. It's just something about him. He got that husband-esque or whatever about him. Maxwell will get smashed, but Keith Sweat, I'm gonna have to kill him because I don't want to hear all that whining. I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear the whining?
I don't want to hear the whining at all.
He just seems the coolest to me out of all of them.
Keith Sweat?
Really? Yes. But I wouldn't.
It's his voice.
Yeah, I wouldn't marry him though. Kenny does give husband vibes. Marry Kenny. Ooh, I don't want to smash any of them either. But dang. Maxwell, I don't want to smash any of them. Kenny is handsome.
Right. Pretty Wings? You don't want to smash Pretty Wings?
No. And Maxwell, no, I don't want to smash Maxwell at all. It's just like, I don't know. Something about something is unsmashable. Not in a bad way. Like, it's like something about his aura that's blocking me to be like, ooh, Maxwell.
Is it because he cut his hair?
Probably so. Because if I think about older pictures and younger Maxwell, that's better. But this, or the Maxwell, I remember from whenever, I remember the Pretty Wings forward Maxwell, because y'all know I'm a little bit younger. And that was never smashable to me.
Okay.
So marry Kenny, smash Keith Sweat, even though he's older, but it's still something real. And then Maxwell would have to go.
I would marry Maxwell because I want to hear him around the house singing and stuff. His voice is so groggy, froggy, but in a sexual way. I want to hear him talk to you in the morning, like, you know, the breakfast is ready. But his voice, I would like that. So I would marry Maxwell. I would bang Kenny Lattimore. I couldn't marry him because he give me dad vibes, and that's weird, like for a husband. So I would smash him though. I would kill Keith Sweat because his voice is like beggy, and I think I don't know if he talks like that in real life. I feel like we've never heard him like have a real life conversation, and I don't want to hear because he's on a radio station here. I don't want to hear the Sweat Hotel, you know, at breakfast. I want to hear like a regular voice, and he don't have that for me. So I was like, no, sir, no, thank you.
I'm just imagining him walking around the house with sunglasses on all the time.
He probably do. I think he wears sunglasses and suits all day. I think he like gets up and goes to like the PTA in a full-fledged suit and some church shoes, gaiters or whatever, and then like a little fedora hat.
Yeah, definitely.
He seen too much sometimes. Did you went Jamie, right?
I'm marrying Kenny.
My man, I used to smoke with y'all. The last little group for the smashing or whatever. I like all three of these men. For me, would also be a good time had by all, but I don't know how y'all feel. So I have Childish Gambino, Meek Mill, and Wale. I will for sure marry Wale because he seems the perfect amount of toxic that's fun, but also sensitive. So I think it'll be a good time. And I feel like he has like high sex, which is fun. So like he high, but I'm not. So I would want that around the house all the time. I would bang Meek Mill because a part of him feel like he has to prove himself in life. And I think that goes in the bedroom. So I would bang Meek Mill. I would kill Childish Gambino only because that's the only option left. If I can bang him first fight, he would die. I would do that. But again, he just, he has to go.
This one's pretty easy for me. I am smashing Childish Gambino. And I never felt that way before until I saw him at Broccoli Fest in DC. I saw him perform live, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I love this man. His performance was everything. He had the shirt off. He was doing all the rolling with the hips. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I never was like, oh my gosh, Childish Gambino, but that was it. So I'm marrying Childish Gambino. I would smash Wale. Meek could go because I was on Twitter the other day and I saw that picture of him sitting poolside with French fries in his wet lab. Did y'all see that picture of him?
No, why was he? He was eating wet fries.
Yes, he was sitting at the pool.
Was he high? He might have been on mushrooms.
Had to be. And like people was bringing up some tweet about how 50 said that Meek Mills was a special kind of stupid. And they were like, 50 was on to this like a long time ago. Like Meek really is dumb. And just the French fries, he could go. But
50 Cent can't judge. 50 Cent's a special kind of dumb too. So I'm like, how you going? I don't like that man. I'm gonna leave it.
I wish I had the pictures to show y'all. But yeah,
I'm gonna look it up when we get off here because I want to know why he was sitting around and with wet fries. Like, who want wet fries? That's nasty.
Yeah, and he was like sitting with his legs close together so the fries wouldn't fall between the cracks of his legs. So they were all wet. And I was just like, ew.
That is like different.
Fries. Yeah. I would marry Wale. I love Wale. I enjoy his music. He seems like he's a lover, not a fighter, Yes. So I would definitely, I could see that in him. I would marry Wale. Meek Mill, I would only smash him like he got the physique. He seems like he got the to give you what you need, So I would do that with Meek. And Childish, I like Childish Gambino. I don't even know if I would even be his type. Hey, wife, how are you? So
you never know.
unfortunately,
because is it white?
He's white. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's something about Childish Gambino don't give me that he like exclusively dates white women. I feel like it just kind of happened.
I could believe
like he just
that.
happened to marry
That's
her.
true. That's true. I'll say that. Yeah.
He's very different. He's a very different individual. So maybe he don't know she's white. He might think she light skin. I don't think I've ever seen his wife.
No,
she's white.
Yeah, she definitely looks pure.
Pure.
Pure as the golden sun. For my one gotta go, I think we're gonna do only one can stay. I picked 3 of my favorite shows. Okay, I hope you guys have watched them. I'm thinking y'all have. So I picked, and again, only one can stay of these 3 shows. Okay, I picked A Different World, Living Single, and Girlfriends. So if only one can stay.
You was talking to me, Jaylee.
Which one didn't you watch?
So I've watched a little bit of all of these, but the one that I remember the most would have to be Girlfriends because I was older whenever that one came out.
You got to go back and watch A Different World.
I know.
Living Single.
You was talking to me.
I know. I was talking to Jesus. I thought maybe he didn't watch the show. I don't know. I would keep A Different World only because I can I don't like season 1 of A Different World. So I might have to be Living Single because season 1 of A Different World with Lisa Bonet to me ruins the series because season 1 to me wasn't that good. I didn't like Lisa Bonet in it. So I will probably keep Living Single now because I can the whole series of Living Single from start to end to me was amazing. Like each actor is an actor. I like how they didn't change the flow of the show. How A Different World had like different layers to it, like every couple seasons or whatever. So I would keep Living Single.
Yeah. I'm definitely keeping A Different World. I just love that show. From like, even though I will agree, season 1 wasn't the best, but because of the range of seasons that they gave us, I feel like it'll carry me for like years to come. So I could watch this show like at any moment. I love that show. So that would be the one that would stay for me. Girlfriends was cool. Living Single was cute, but it's A Different World for me. I was never crazy about Living Single. I liked it, but I was never crazy about it. I think I liked Girlfriends. Yeah, I feel like the ladies of Girlfriends was more relatable than Living Single for some reason. But
I like Regine and Queen Latifah's character from Living Single. I also liked how funny and weird Maxine was.
I did. I liked her. I mean, all of their characters were good. Even Sinclair, like how they did.
You said Living Single for me.
Living Single. How they did the casting and everything, like it was good. But I just liked it more.
Okay, I can't give an educated opinion on this. Something tells me though, like y'all know the one I'm most caught up with is Girlfriends. But even when I went back and tried to binge watch it, I was kind of over it because it was just like women dating. And I know A Different World has way more storylines within the show. So if I were to watch, I would keep A Different World. My biased opinion would just be Girlfriends, or my ignorant opinion would be Girlfriends because I just don't know.
Because you haven't watched the two. I wouldn't keep Girlfriends at all. It's a good show and I like it too, but I do feel like A Different World for me was an amazing show. Had it not been for season 1, because Marissa Tomei was on season 1 or season 2. I think she's on season the one white girl.
I think she was on 1 and 2, wasn't she? The white girl that was like roommates with them? I feel like she was on 1 and 2 because I feel like she was around at some point when Kim's white cousin, Freddie's white cousin came along. I thought the white girl was still on the show at that time. She was phasing out or something.
But I feel like it was never.
But when
Natty, season 1,
what's her name? Natty. I think it was Natty. When she was on, Nettie was on the show. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, they definitely made it better.
Season 1 may have been long because Nettie was on for a while. And I felt like season 1, it wasn't a real HBCU like it was supposed to be. It just didn't give that to me until like season 2 and further on from there. I think before that it was a good show. It had good storylines, but I'm like, stuff that happened later on, like when they had the one girl who got beat up by the boyfriend who was an artist or whatever. Yes, that episode, them velvet blue shoes, that was so ugly. I felt like them even talking about that time made it a great show. Even showing Whitley who had money then didn't have money, showing the different moms. Like the fact that Patti LaBelle and Diane Carroll play the moms of Dwayne and Whitley so amazingly well. So I feel like that show was beyond its time, and that's why I'm just gonna keep living. Season 1 ruins it. Like this, it is.
Well, I will say this about season 1. What I did appreciate was, in order to get people to watch Different World, and it was a Cosby show, they had to kind of bring somebody over there. So who made sense was Denise. So they kind of captured the audience from that. And once they saw that it was doing so well, it wasn't no point for her. Like, she could say, but I loved how they phased her out. I think she like flunked out or something that first semester. So I love how they phased her out. Then we got to meet like some even more
everybody else. Because I felt like Whitley. I felt like Whitley was a stronger character than Lisa, even though we knew Lisa from Denise from the Cosby Show. Even though Whitley was aggravating, but I felt like even Jaleesa, her being the older one there, I'm like, it was cute. I liked it. So I'm gonna still keep living single. I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, so those were our choices. I'm gonna try to pick somebody better next time that needs to say, like, how old is Casey? She old enough. Okay, she leads on the shows. She legal. She can drink wine, so it's fine. That's all that matters. Okay. So the next thing we have up next is going to be some gossip chat. Okay, well, gossip chat, girl chat, all of that. See, we have music and stuff. We like to entertain y'all. Okay, entertainment all up and through. So the first thing we can talk about is Porsha, Simon. Now, as we know from today, Fallon. So the first story was Porsha was on This Nation. Porsha brought up how she got a tattoo of Simon's middle name on the back of her neck, and that she wanted to have 3 weddings with him. And I was like, for real? But on top of that, after that kind of happened, we then seen Fallon will be doing her own interview on YouTube on June 10th, giving her side of what happened between her and Simon, and find out how Simon and Porsha were a couple and was engaged to be married. Now, I don't think getting a tattoo makes sense when you've known or been dating someone for like a couple months. That's stupid. I had a tattoo of an ex name on me before. He had my name too, but we was dating for like a couple years or whatever. But I was young and dumb. I was like 19 years old. Porsha's a full-grown, in her 30s-year-old woman with a kid or whatever. I think getting a man's name tattooed on you is stupid. You don't know that man long enough to get his name tattooed on you. Her 3 weddings, I'm like, I mean, one in America, one in over there in Nigeria, whatever, and one in the hood, like Wendy Williams said. And then for Fallon, I want to hear her side. I do. But I also feel like this is becoming a circus. Because Simon then said how she was cheating on him, how she's currently pregnant with some man, baby, who named, he said, but I don't hear that man's name. It's just getting messy. I feel like if he's moved on with Porsha, I feel like Fallon should too. Y'all getting divorced. I don't want to keep, like, every month is something different. But what do y'all think?
It's giving me Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez vibes. When all this stuff went down last year in July, and every month we got more and more information, and it took I think up until maybe February of this year for it to actually calm down.
A long time.
Honestly, I don't see it calming down at all until Real Housewives of Atlanta starts. Those are just, my thoughts. I think the tattoo idea, dumb as hell. Dumb. And for me, for her to get it, it makes me think, for you to get that in this short amount of time makes me believe that y'all have been seeing each other much longer than what you want us to believe. I'm looking forward to Fallon's side of the story. I can't wait to hear what it is that she got to say. That's all I got for now, I think.
So I think Simon and Porsha are both using each other to stunt, basically. I feel like Porsha is doing that dumbass tattoo shit just because Dennis was doing it. I feel like she's doing it because of Dennis. You knew exactly where to get the tattoo if it didn't work out, but you knew to hustle and bustle and get the tattoo so you could secure your bag. You know to have. I mean, she's definitely not going to take her time with this. So while I do think they've been dating longer than what they told us, I don't think it was that much longer. It's probably been since like January when he first filed. Because Porsha's foolish enough to go ahead and just jump into something like that. So I think they're both using each other, and I feel like Porsha doesn't realize. Porsha knows she's being used as a pawn. She don't mind because of the things that it comes with. So I can't wait to see Fallon's side. I don't really think she's pregnant. I don't. When I saw the video of Fallon, if she is pregnant, it has to be fresh, and it can't be. She can't be any more pregnant than. What am I trying to say? Porsha and Simon have to have been together longer than what she is pregnant. That's what I'm trying to say. She got pregnant after Simon and Porsha had been together. So if she is pregnant now, that's irrelevant. That's what I'm trying to say.
And if she's pregnant and Simon, to me, that make me feel like with Simon, you and Porsha have been together longer because she would have to be further along than you and Porsha have been dating. Exactly. And if you got with Porsha in April, how do you know she's pregnant now by somebody else? Exactly. Unless she was pregnant before, and that's why you and her broke up. Because even if Fallon cheated, let's say she cheated or whatever, got pregnant, fine, and you wanted a divorce, but I feel like that wasn't a reason for you to move on with Porsha. Because now it was weird, like y'all trying to like one up each other. You want to marry Porsha, now she pregnant by somebody else or whatever. And in the little clip we saw when Fallon brought up how supposedly it was him who wanted her. She wasn't showing. Now he's dating this star. I'm like, okay. So did Simon set all this up to bring us the bullshit? Is he replacing Scott?
And did y'all see? So the dude who Fallon was with, and I'm pretty sure we all gonna do videos on it too. But the dude who that's what I'm saying. Come on, like, do I need to do one now and then June 10th or what? I'm trying to figure that out. But the dude who Simon says Fallon cheated on him with, there's an Instagram post where it's a picture back from November 2020, and he posted, and in November it says something like, "Thank you to my friends for bringing me on this trip," and he tagged Simon and Fallon. Fast forward to now, the Simon and Fallon are untagged. So basically, Fallon cheated with a friend of their relationship. And now Simon is doing the same thing.
It's the same thing.
So y'all are playing games. And if she is pregnant, Porsha's looking dumb because now your fiance, which is somebody's husband, is still concerned about what's going on in her belly.
And see, I feel like when you said Porsha doesn't mind like being a pawn, that's true because she even said that's what she was doing when she was dating Cordell. That's what she said she was doing and how he was gangster. So Porsha, like you said, she's enjoying everything that this comes with. And it makes me think, are they Fallon and Simon probably going to get back together at a later time because he's so concerned about what she got going on. And I did not like what he posted. And I feel like he has a right to respond, but I also felt like it ain't nothing to respond to yet. You don't even know what the lady about to say. You just saw a trailer and you immediately come out with your points and you're like, oh, well, let's talk about why I got the divorce to begin with. Well, then we also want to speak on why you retracted the divorce as well.
In the first place.
You also retracted it as well if she was supposedly cheating and she supposedly had been pregnant. So let's get into all of the things and not just some of them. So we'll see.
I think they both want to be on the next season of House. I feel like Fallon is trying to get her peach because it'd be smart if Bravo had Fallon and Porsha on next season. Fallon's within a younger audience too. She's a newbie will be coming in. I think it'll be smart. And if Fallon's like, okay, I know Simon will be on there with Porsha. Let me do my own talk about it. And then I can come on too. I would watch it. How many times have we wanted to see, okay, the woman who took your husband, they on the same show? I think they've never had that before. Ever. This would be a first for everybody.
Now,
it's just messy.
Giselle and Robin, when they did that Breakfast Club interview, let Giselle tell it. She said from what she knows, Miss Fallon may never see Real Housewives of Atlanta again for the rest of her life, according to Miss Giselle.
She said she may never see it.
Yeah, she'll never see Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Giselle can't even tell us about Jamal. Let's get on Giselle. Let's get on Giselle. I don't have a picture up. We're gonna talk about Giselle. Giselle was on that little Wrestler Perm Robin. I feel like Giselle wants us to believe that her and Jamal was breaking up. I feel like Giselle talks about everybody else for her own stuff. I'm like, how do you know what's going on with Fallon and Porsha and them in Atlanta when you can't tell us what's going on with you and with Jamal? Like your husband ex-husband was in the whole other state. Y'all was already dating or whatever. And now all of a sudden, the pandemic and the distance. I'm like, y'all was not a couple. So it's like, stop commenting on other people and comment on yourself. I am ready for Potomac to come back. I cannot wait for us to review it on our channel, which would be great. But I feel like Giselle likes putting her foot in other people's mess to kind of avoid people like, oh, what's wrong with you? Because she don't have nothing else going on. So I don't like Giselle.
Yeah, I really actually like the Green Eyed Bandits. But when I sat up there and I watched the Breakfast Club, I started side-eyeing Giselle because I really kind of started to feel away. Like, you don't be wanting to share your information, but then you want to talk about Wendy stuff, but then tell us that you actually was coming to her, like kind-hearted, coming to her with a concern, and that's not how Wendy took it. And then you go on and say you unfollowed Wendy because she wasn't interesting.
She was boring.
I'm like, you probably was being messy, but what? Go ahead.
That is literally just a green-eyed Sheree. That's it.
Yes, she is. She's a bone carrier.
It's like, how do you make her the whole ass brand? Can't be nothing but the green eyes because Sheree can never. Like, no shade to Sheree. I'm just saying they would never make Sheree the brand of Atlanta, but Giselle has that brand title with Potomac, and it's like you don't do anything different than what Sheree does.
You think so? I will say I never saw it like that. I always saw all of them as the brand, not just one person.
Giselle,
they give Giselle passes.
Yes,
Giselle do BS, and like the last reunion, they didn't call her out on stuff, and then she would kind of be silent or whatever. And I was like, that's the reason I think they at least favor her. I don't see her as the whole show. I did see the whole cast, but I'm like, I still feel like they let Giselle off on things because they don't want to like put her off the show yet. She's like a Nene, like Candy. Like, she gonna be around, she can kind of do whatever, and she not gonna leak because she don't have enough to do. So she'll be the one, like, she will be the messy one because, if I'm the messy one, I will always have a check. And as long as I allow mess to happen around me and I don't cross too many boundaries of, being like, breaking the law or whatever, I can get away with it because, again, they need someone every season to be messy. So she allows herself to be the messy one. And I think that's why she isn't the brand, but she's like the Nene is of the show.
Or the Kenya, because a lot of people like Nene more than they like Kenya. She's probably like the Kenya of the show. Now, what I noticed in that interview too, Robin said a lot of times she be the one that be doing stuff, but everybody blames Giselle for it. I thought that was interesting because once again, y'all know I've been like green eyed bandits, and then when I hear that, my eyebrows raise like, oh, girl, I didn't know that. I ain't been seeing it how everybody else been seeing it.
I think Robin was lying.
Why was she?
I
feel like she's just trying to claim that so people would think that she brings value to the show.
Because she doesn't.
Why else would you claim being a shit starter?
She doesn't, because she brought up how, I used to be the broke, I'm not broke anymore, but sometimes I can be messy. She messy like, ooh, Giselle said this, and that's it. But she don't do anything that's actually messy. She may say a shady remark. That's not being messy. Like, you can say, well, I paid off our tax bill, but Karen did not. I'm like, yeah, but you owe less than Karen. It's easy to pay off 30 grand than it is to pay off $1 million. So your little check is nothing.
That wasn't even Karen's debt.
It was raised.
I thought it was raised.
Yeah.
It was, and I'm so she will say something shady, but it's like you not shady. Like, we don't even want you not. So I can't wait to see this new season because, again, I like that they have not talked about Monique much as far as the show goes, and it do seem like it's like real stuff going on within the group and not like made up maybe, could be, should be. So that part I want to see. But I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
Just don't comment on people's stuff. But let's get over to Monique. Okay, Monique and the bonnets of it all. She don't like no bonnets. She don't want no bonnets. Don't wear no bonnets. Don't wear no bonnets. No house shoes. No house coats. No nothing out the house because she don't like it. Now look, when Monique, for some reason, no one asked her. She wasn't doing any. She was at home in her bathrobe with no bra on, clean, face looking great or whatever. And she came to us and said, look, I was at the airport and I seen so many women in, in bonnets and headscarves and I'll say comfy pajama type clothes. And she did not like it. She wants to say how women should, represent better out in public or whatever. Do not wear hair bonnets outside. Me, I feel like this. I think there are bonnets that are made to be worn out the house. I feel that way. Some are just made to fit the head. Some are not. Okay. But I would never judge somebody at the airport. At the airport, you are really dressed to be comfortable, to fly somewhere. I heard people bring up how, the seat's dirty. You don't want your hair on the seats or whatever. So I don't think judging anyone by how they look in the airport made sense because, again, you fly in from point A to point B. Who wants to be fully dressed in a suit, a tie, with some real shoes on? You got to go through TSA. You got to go through. It's so much to go through at the airport. You want to be comfortable to come out your clothes, get back in your clothes or whatever, and to be able to sleep on a plane. So I didn't like her critiquing people at the airport. But running errands, if you have to get out the car, put on some real shoes. Do not have on a bonnet because you have to get out the car. If you go on to the Wendy's, okay, to get a sandwich. I was laughing at Jamie. It's fine to be in some little runarounds, but you're not getting out your car. You're going from your house, your car to the drive-through, and then back home. I don't mind that because that's easy, but I don't want to see it in Walmart. I don't want to see it, at the school PCA meeting because it's you outside somewhere. It's It depends. So what y'all think?
I think people should be able to do what the hell they want to do. The thing is, even if a person doesn't wear a bonnet, doesn't mean that the style that they're wearing is presentable. You know what I'm saying? How
True.
Other people deem it to be. So I feel like, how is that stopping you from going about your day to day? You over here talking about people being in the airport wearing bonnets, trying to be comfortable as they get on this flight, and you don't even know how long they're going to be on this flight. How is that affecting you? You still made it to the destination you're trying to get to. But I find it so funny that you sat up there, no makeup done, got your robe on, no bra or anything, and then you want to talk about how if you see people out in public, you'll tap them on their shoulder. Well, why didn't you go to those young ladies that you're up here talking about and tap them on the shoulder since you cared so much, Auntie Monique? I just feel like just mind the business that pays you on their front. You didn't even address the situation when you were there. You waited till you touched down in Mississippi to try and go live and capture a moment. And no. I didn't like that at all. So I'm like, man, let these people do what they're going to do, especially in these airports. Yes, thank you, Jason. Let's speak on do-rags. I said that in my video. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's speak on do-rags. Let's speak on these matted up dreads. Since we want to talk about people being presentable. Okay, how about y'all make sure y'all go and y'all keep y'all dreads up there? How about you get your hair cut not every 2 weeks or 3, but every week? How about that? People always want to set a standard for Black women, but I don't see no standards out here for Black men. So don't be sitting up here trying to make it seem like, oh, I went to the airport and had to fly into Atlanta, and then I touched down in Mississippi. No, there was a photo that went viral on this dude's page of him taking a picture of all of these ladies in the do-rag. What was so not in the do-rag, but in the bonnets? But what was so funny? Sorry, let us see what you look like though. You over here taking pictures of these ladies that's minding their business. That's what we did. That's what we did capture in the photo. They weren't even looking at you. They were trying to get their items so they could catch their flight. Okay? When I'm in line for TSA, I'm trying to be comfortable. Once I go through that check, I don't give what y'all got going on. I'm trying to get to my gate. I'm trying to make sure I get there. I can get some food. I can get comfortable and I can get on my flight. Period. So I disagree with that. Now I will say this, as I've said it before. Be mindful how you walk in Target. Now, Target to me is it's on a different level. Now, you can go to Walmart how you want to, because Walmart don't care.
So Walmart is Walmart, not in Target.
That's the only place I ever wore my bonnet before was Walmart. Literally. And the reason being is because y'all know I have natural hair. And I had something to do that night. So I put on my rod set that morning. So, you know, your hair got to bake the whole day. So I was left with a tough decision. Do I walk into Walmart with these flexi rods all over my head, or do I put a bonnet on top of it? Like, which one would have more stairs? Do I want the big foam rollers all over my head? So I wore my bonnet into Walmart, okay? And that's why I specifically went to Walmart. And another reason, if it was a Dollar Tree or something else nearby or something I could grab from Dollar Tree, I would have went to Dollar Tree with my bonnet just because I try to pay attention to where I'm at and how I present myself. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I left the house today, got some gas, had my house shoes on the whole time. But just as Jamie said, it's respectability. Politics. Yeah, I was gonna get gas. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing though. That's your house. That's not gas. It don't count.
It's nothing.
And it's gas. It's nothing.
Another thing, if we want to call out bonnets, just as Jamie and Jason said in the comments, talk about do-rags. The next thing, if we want to go there and just get off of black people, let's talk about white women in these $1 thong sandals from Old Navy. Okay? So don't come talking about respectability, this and this and that. Like, I think it's a personal preference, and I'm not going to judge a black woman for running into Walmart in her busy day. Who knows what she's getting ready for that night? Like I said, I had a fresh rod set that was baking up. I'm not going to judge, so that's not for me to speak on it.
And another thing I want to highlight real quick. Just real quick, y'all. We talk about the airport and how to be presentable, and when we go in certain locations, how to be presentable. I completely understand that. I wasn't raised to walk out the house like that. Actually, I don't do that. I like to look presentable. Y'all see, I'll at least put a hat on with a wig, okay, and go out the door. But here's the gag. You think these companies give a what they want you to present at the airport is your motherfucking ticket so you can scan and get through this gate. That's what they want. They want you to present to them that you have paid for this flight that you might catch. They don't care about none of that. Do what you will. So why are we in such an uproar about that? When you go to Walmart, they don't care about their own employees or how long you want to wait in line or any of that. They just want the coins when you get to the register. So what are we talking about? Yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say, I am judging if you wear your bedrobe with your bonnets for store. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. Because it's like, girl, you could throw on a sweatshirt. But bonnets, I ain't judging, because black women's hair, I feel like nobody needs to comment on.
I do think women dress creepily a lot of times, and I'm like, where y'all going or whatever. But I also feel like a bonnet on the head outside shouldn't matter that much. Like how she dressed. Now I think if you want a bonnet and pajamas and slippers, that's different. That's like, okay, you can't be out dressed for bed outside at the store or whatever. But I do feel like people don't know how to dress in general. Men and women. I'm like, I hate men who wear them pants and their ankles be out. I hate seeing men's ankles. If you sit down and your pants come up your calf muscle, I don't like you. You pull your pants down. I don't like how men have their pants, right on their ass. I don't like that. It's just certain stuff I don't like men in do-rags. I feel like do not wear your do-rag out. Like your hair is just, it's not like my hair. I have to keep it twisted, it has to be combed, okay? You have a little fade, some dreads, some braids. That's not as bad as we have to have it. So I don't like how men walk around looking crazy, but women get judged just because we should have to take time to make ourselves look right. No. If I'm going to the Dunkin' Donut one morning and I'm going to leave on, a little robe maybe, because I'm not getting out of my car. And I'm like, I don't feel like doing all of that. But I do think people who like leave the house dressed weird, like, I think they need Jesus. Because I'm like, what is you wearing? Why are you like that? What is going on? You dying? It could be a call for help.
My suggestion would be, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, you know what I'm saying, down in the comments on here. I feel like sometimes it could be consider the possibility that these people consider that these people could be going through something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they had no intentions on getting out of the car, but once they got their child to school, they realized their child needed this, that. You know what I'm saying? So they had to run back in there with like, it's like they wanted to do that. It was that they had to do that for somebody else. So it's like, yeah, you want people to look presentable for you, but you're not even taking the time out to be considerate to what a person may have going on in their life. A woman could be abused by her man and she just got away. She came to the nearest Walmart and she had to run in there to go get whatever. And all she left out the house was a bonnet and a robe on. Like, you just don't know people's circumstances.
Tokyo said that. Tokyo brought up how she used to be like out and she was depressed and she just did not care about what she was wearing. But I'm going to wear whatever because I'm not feeling my best. Because she responded back, but not back to, but she posted about it or whatever, saying how, first of all, I give a fuck, point one. And point two, you don't know how somebody is even dealing with life and why they are in pajamas. I said, it can be called for help. You never, because if somebody is out in pajamas, they could really need some help. Even if it's something as simple as I did not know my son needed milk money or whatever, and I'm broke, I gotta go to ATM. It could be a whole thing. So I'm like, I do think people should like not worry about it so much. I don't care, me personally. I might look over like, what the fuck is she wearing? Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not gonna go home and make a whole video about it. So
I may judge your behavior more than I judge what you got on. Like, if you're just loud and doing the most and obnoxious for attention, I'm going to be looking at you. Yeah, that could be, Bonnie. I'm just considering the possibilities. People could be going through stuff, you know what I'm saying, as to why, you know. But yeah, I may judge their behavior before I judge their attire. You know what I'm saying? Because those people are the ones that get more side eyes. Like, dang, why are you doing the most? Like, what's going on? I used to
go to a 5 a.m. spin class downtown. Only black person there. Do you think that I went to the spin class with my rods in my head? I wore my bonnet to my spin class. So I dare
somebody say something.
I didn't care.
No one ever cared. Only Monique
cared. Come as you are.
You say Jesus said that. I said that's what Jesus said too. Let's go on to surprise wedding and no wedding at all news. You know, Juju, who dated Cameron for like 10 years, they never got married, ended up breaking up. Well, she surprised everybody got married this weekend to some, I don't know who this man is, but while Juju was getting married for the first time, Chrissy and Jim Jones, who's still not married or whatever, Jim Jones did an interview and he was upset that someone asked him if he feels pressure still to marry Chrissy. He then went off, but he was like, you know, is your mama married? Are you married? Okay, if y'all not, you know, don't worry about me. Like, worry about your own home. Like, don't. I'm like, why are you so mad? It was weird for me because I feel like every show y'all have been on was about y'all being engaged, being married, about y'all bond as a couple or whatever. So how are you upset that people gonna ask you about that still? And I feel like the fact that Juju stayed with Cameron so long and did not get married, but now she's married, and Jim and Chrissy is still, I mean, happily together. How long is too long to wait for somebody to like make that next move? I'm like, Juju seem happy, but is Chrissy really happy?
I feel like you can go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Nisi.
That's all right. I think it's hard to put a time limit to how long is too long. I think it's more so like, how are you living? Because you can be with somebody for a long time, but still have respectable boundaries as to where you haven't became this person's common law husband or wife. Because then it's like, at which the point where you're already cut the common law, it's like, why not? Unless y'all are both under the agreement of, you know, I just want a soulmate type thing. If that's the case, then fine. But if y'all want to be married, then I think you should do something to at least hold on to what's yours until then. Like, for example, living together, that's a big thing. Okay. Now, I'm not one to judge because I lived with my fiance before we were engaged. But if y'all aren't on the same track, like one person wants marriage and one person doesn't, then you have to be cognizant of what moves you're making. Because by the time you look up 10 years later, you still ain't gonna be married, and you literally have just you basically just compromised. to what the other person has wanted and giving yourself to this person 110% when you haven't received what you really wanted. So I think it's hard to put a time limit on it. People can say like 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. It's hard to put a time limit on it. Now, Juju, good for her, okay? The only thing is sis looked drunk. AF. And I didn't see a lot of people talking about her looking drunk. I think more so people were just happy for her, which was good. But I'm like, I hope that this is like just two drunk
something real.
Yeah, I hope it was something real, that they were just two drunk people in love that decided to get married and not just two people that was like, whoop, let's go out and do it. Because I didn't know she was with this man.
I think as far as the time limit, I think you can put a time limit on things when you know what it is you want and you set your standard. And just like you mentioned, if you have a mate or whatever that is not into what you want and vice versa, I mean, like, why you should put a time limit on when you end it, you know what I'm saying? So that you can move on and you can find somebody that wants what you want, because I feel like it doesn't have to take that long. I feel like guys know within a few months or a year what they want to do with you and how far they're trying to take you. And at a certain point in your relationship, maybe the 2-year mark, conversations are beginning to happen about engagement and things. You know what I'm saying? But it also depends on where y'all are in y'all life. If y'all are in college, y'all may not be having those conversations. But if you're in your mid to late 20s and your 30s and stuff, those conversations are probably coming up sooner. So I feel like you can put a time frame on that. Unfortunately, Chrissy didn't, and she just went along with whatever. And I think Jim Jones probably got frustrated with people asking the question, because he probably was like, listen, if it ain't happening, it ain't gonna happen, so stop asking me. That's what it seems like, because that's how I'm starting to think. Y'all both
and for me it was
to each other, and y'all
I'm like, that's the weird part. She proposed first and he proposed, and then they were going to get married and they stopped. And I think the last I heard was Chrissy saying how she no longer wanted to rush to get married. I'm like, but this one is rushing. So I do feel like a part of her felt like we comfortable, he not pushing it, I should not push it either. We happy, so why try to force a marriage? I feel like because you wanted to be married. Like that was a big part of what you said you wanted for years and years and years. So for me, I think it's weird when someone is pushing for something so long and then they kind of just say, you know what, never mind. Let's just stay together. Like, let's be engaged or whatever. Or maybe they got married and it's a secret. We just don't know.
Why? That's all I'm saying.
They weird.
Why?
I don't even see why they made it such a big issue for so many seasons of the shows. I felt like if y'all point was, we're gonna be like Oprah and Stephen. We're gonna just be together, be in love, but not get married. I don't see an issue with that. I think the issue I have is at one point or the other, both of them pushed the issue of marriage. When she wanted it, he didn't. And then when he wanted it, she didn't. And so it's like, you can't do all of that for like, let's say 8 years for 8 different shows. And then you get offended when someone asks you if you still, because she didn't say when y'all get married. She said, do you still feel pressure to marry Chrissy? To me, that was a way of not even saying you should do it. It's like, do you, because her exact question was, do you still feel pressure to marry Chrissy? And I felt like his response didn't warrant, her question did not warrant his response, because she wasn't asking him, what's going to wedding, bro? It wasn't that. It was a simple, like, do you still feel the pressure? He could have said no, because, no, I don't. And that could have been it. But I feel like going at her about, is your mama married? Is you married? Like, why ask me a question about something that you or your mama have not matched? I'm like, well, damn, bro.
Exactly.
So I'm like, to me, that was seeing too much. I think with them all being around the Dipset or whatever, even with Kimbella and Jewels, how long it took them to finally make things official. Even with Emily being fabulous, it's like these women sat around and kind of just waited for the man to be ready. But like Chrissy is the only one who still is waiting for something to happen. But maybe she's happy and we just crazy. I don't know.
I bet that this is something that they wish that they never gave us insight to. And that's the reason why I said you should retain some boundaries specifically if you don't want to feel that pressure. Because it's easy for people from the outside to look in and be like, girl, what you waiting on? Girl, you still waiting type stuff. But Chrissy, she could have saved herself if she would have never proposed to that man and if they wouldn't have pressed it for so long. So it's like they were on two opposite pages for so long, and that's when it goes back to what Jamie said. as a personal preference, you need to decide when it ends. But it's hard to kind of just say what the general timeline is for it. So that's a mess.
And I have to highlight Jewel's and Fabulous, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Jewel's married, proposed to Kimbella, whatever, when he knew he was getting ready to go off to jail. At the age that he's at. And then Fabulous did the same thing with Emily, if I'm not mistaken, after the whole altercation came out between her dad and him, where he probably was going to be facing charges, or was indeed facing charges. So, I mean, it seems like y'all got to be down on y'all luck or whatever for y'all to lock down y'all girls.
And not only that, they both kind of went on Love and Hip Hop to get the men to kind of take them more serious. I think Emily B said it. I think her first season on the show that she was hoping to make Fabulous come on the show too, and he would never show up. He didn't show up for like a family photo shoot. I'm like, he not for the children. So it's like
he's showing up for all of them.
Yeah, girl, I love my wife, but you know, I can see. I like the people change, people grow. Okay. Whatever, but I still feel like you grew for different reasons. You grew because you felt like, okay, I have no choice but to settle in with this because, again, I'm gonna go to jail, or I might go to jail, and so it makes more sense to do this way. It doesn't mean they don't love them, but I'm like, the fact that y'all could not buckle down just because you love them despite whatever else, you had to put them through hell to even get to. I don't want to have to go through hell just to get married. Like, that's just dumb. Right. And I think that's what happened with Kimbella and with Emily B. And I think Chrissy B, honey, with Jim Jones forever and ever.
It was like,
that's my man. I'm a stick for all your stuff. Right. Lastly, for Gossip Chat, Evelyn Pussy Patton Lozada. I feel like she will forever be pussy. Them braids, girl, them braids. Evelyn was on the show. I think it was on E! News, like a little podcast or whatever. And she announced two things, actually. She said, one, that she's leaving Basketball Wives. Two, that she's dating someone and has been dating this person since before the pandemic. And it's someone that she didn't say who the guy was, but it's someone who she like messed around with after the whole Chad headbutt thing or whatever. And they stopped talking, and they James face made me laugh. They stopped talking and got back together about a year ago. Now, with her leaving Basketball Wives, if she would have said, I'm leaving because I'm just over it, you know what I'm saying? I've been on here for all these, I'm leaving, that would have been fine. I would not have even commented about her leaving. It was the reason she said, I'm leaving because I have grown. I have a conscience now. Like, it's too negative now. I need to leave and let the door open. It was bullshit upon bullshit. I think Evelyn know that she don't fit in no more. And the fact that last season had such horrible ratings, and while she had support, I still feel like the hate, or not the hate, I won't say hate, I will say the criticism of the show was overwhelming enough for producers and head honchos to know you can't have her on this show anymore because, again, we're not going to support it. And so she leaving. She says her own on her own accord. I say goodbye to Bad Rubbish. I feel like she has overstayed her welcome. I feel like Evelyn has fucked everybody from the football to basketball to soccer to rugby to tennis to flag football or whatever else. And I think she just needs to go sit down somewhere, be her beautiful self, and don't be on TV no more. I don't like Evelyn because I feel like she doesn't get how negative she has been for multiple seasons. And even though she said that she, it's a TV show, it's work, I look at it as work. I get that, but actors, who was the person, who was a Wesley Snipes as Nino Brown, that was work. You was paid to go and be a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? You cannot act like on a reality show, if you act like an ass, that you are not an asshole. And she don't want to accept who she's made herself to be. So I'm like, girl, get out my face. Go, I don't like you no more. Goodbye. What do y'all think about Evelyn and that stuff?
See you. In the words of Khadijah, see you. I'm cool with you, Peace. Skipping out on the plug. This isn't the first time that you did it. I don't like the fact that she's saying that she's having a conscience now. You had a conscience when you left the first time, so now you got a conscience. And as I thought about it more, it made me wonder if the production company could have gave her ultimatum or could have laid her off, because they good for laying people off and allowing them to make the statement as though they made the decision on their own. I'm wondering if she was given the ultimatum and they probably wanted her to apologize to OG and she said no. I don't know if that's true, but that's just something I'm wondering. And I could see her not apologizing because she's gonna have to subscribe to the fact that she is indeed a race or a colorist, whichever one people would label her as. But if she wants to go, I say let her go. I wonder if we're gonna see her on somebody else's screen like how she did when she left the first time to try and redeem herself. She went and did a whole show on. She went and sat down with Iyanla on more than one occasion, came back and still showed her. So I wonder what she's gonna do next. I don't really have no words, but good luck.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if they wanted to rebrand the show, she should have took Shani. Shani should have left too.
Yeah.
Both of them. I feel like at this point, I hate when people try to pull this shit. I've grown. That's only because you know that people have outgrown your bullshit. So I think she is tired of being in the kitchen. It's too hot, and she don't want to go through another season of potentially showing her ass and having people call her out for it. So she's deciding to leave ungracefully, because the graceful thing would have been her not coming back for this last season that was tired, that they were reaching for. So if you wanted to leave, you should have left then. But you know, I mean, whatever. They're done with the show, okay? This feels like a reboot to me with the new girls that or not the new girls, the old girls that they're bringing back. British and it was two other people on the show. Was it British?
British, Duffy. But they're bringing back people who was on for like 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Who kind of got pushed away because of the old heads who kind of wasn't trying to feature them. So I do feel like, look, if they come back and Evelyn's gone, if Malaysia's gone, like if the old ones are gone, y'all kind of bring in some new ones, I wouldn't mind watching, but I would, because I don't want to support Evelyn. I don't want to support Shani, and I don't want to support Furby. Like I don't want that. And I feel like Evelyn is a cancer, but so is Shani. And then with them two, so is Malaysia. And then so is Jackie. So I'm like, y'all have to really like if you're gonna bring in the doobies, get rid of the old heads. We don't need them no more.
Yeah, if you want to redo it like that. But I feel like they're trying to get back to the glory days without Evelyn though. And I'm just kind of like, let it all go. And I just saw a comment from Julia, send them all to Zeus. If you send it to Zeus, I'll watch it.
Why did I think that? I was like, Evelyn gonna fuck around and have a show on Zeus.
Definitely.
I don't want to see
about the conversation.
But who she gonna talk to? Like no one even wants to, like, who would she do a show with? She's boring to me. I feel like if her, my life is different in real life, we'll go live their life. We don't need you here. Go. I want them to bring Drea back, Royce back, Drea,
Brandy Maxfield. I wouldn't mind seeing her.
I would right, because I think those, when they brought over Jackie and Evelyn and Malay, when they put them together, it became a clique of people who felt like I'm an OG. You knew. Fall in line with one of us, and then it's like two sides. It's two sides to a season. You either on the newbie side, and it's like 3 y'all, and then old heads. I feel like if y'all gonna I wouldn't mind if it used to be funny and entertaining, and then this got cliquish and dumb, and I'm like, okay, y'all are doing too much. So I'm happy with Evelyn being gone. I hope Shani's not around a lot. Like if Shani do 2 episodes a season, I don't mind that. I can deal with I'm in the beginning and then once in the middle, and that's it. I can deal with 2.
I can see Shani not being on the season because all the ladies that are not on the show, she don't want them on there. So I can see her.
That's true.
The ladies that they trying to bring back, she didn't want them on the show. So I can see Shani not even doing the show because she's gonna make money on the front or the back end. Might as well make it on the back.
That's true. I just don't want Evelyn ever on my screen. Not on Zeus, not on YouTube, not on BT Plus, not on Paramount. Nothing. Go away from me. Get away. I don't like you. You on my nerve. She's not a good person. And she never holds herself accountable. That's what aggravates me the most. She won't just say, you know what, I fucked up. I was meaning that girl. I did say stuff that was crazy. Like, just don't say I'm a cutter or race. Say, you know what, I said some things that were taken a certain way by her, and for that I apologize. Like, just say that. Just acknowledge you made someone else feel some kind of way. And you did not mean to do that. If she would have said at least that, I could have at least, okay, she at least acknowledged how OG felt. My issue was always they would not even acknowledge that OG felt like something. And I'm like, if you can't do that, I don't have to see you. Go away from me, get out my face, go sit down somewhere. So I'm happy she's leaving. Good riddance to bad rubbish. We have two. I don't fuck with shoes, okay? But where's the music? I have music. Where's it at? Oh, it's right there. Okay, cool. I like the music now. It makes me feel fun. So we have, I think she's frozen. So this story was shocking to me. I was like, what happened here? So a bride died, okay, had a whole heart attack at her wedding, and the groom's family and the bride's family had a decision, had a whole meeting at the wedding with a dead body in tow, and they decided for the dead woman's sister to marry the groom on the same day as the wedding while her dead sister's body was in the other room. Okay, so my question is, okay, would you marry your sister's fiance, okay, while said sister is, I'm not going to make all the answers, while your sister is over there, you know, resting in peace in the other room? I was like, so we see the original bride is all dressed up. Her sister's face is circled, okay, and she married her dead sister's fiance the day of the wedding. I don't fuck with that at all. I could not do that at all. I would not be able to function as a human being right when my sister died enough to even walk down how you walk down the aisle next to your dead sister?
God, sick of the fuck.
You know, part of me felt like it had to be the only thing that would make anybody do that was some type of tradition or religion. It has to be some deep belief in something to get you through that moment to marry your dead sister's fiance. But the other part of me is like, this shit went viral. So it had to be people around them to be like, this is some bullshit. So I'm like, what? I really tried to give them like a religion pass, but ain't no way it would have went viral if it was people around them who was like, what in the nonsense?
No. I feel like in my culture, absolutely not. I wouldn't do that. In their culture, possibly, I would like to know who is this groom, because it makes me wonder, do you have like, number one, are they required? Is this how the process is required to go? Because most of the times when you marry somebody, like you get a dowry. So it was like over there in those cultures. So it was like money. Did the family need the money, or was he rich or something? And it's like, okay, unfortunately, we'll bring your sister later, but we need you to step up and get married because it's going to help the family financially or something. Right. So it could be a position where the girl didn't want to do it, but because they are so focused on family over there, she probably just had to go.
Because they look like, you know, it's from over there. That's not black people.
It could be Indian. I'm not sure though.
She had to take one for the team. Yeah, I think they said she was a hint. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hindu bride. Yes, I think that's what they said. Yeah, she took one for the team. But I'm also like, why did it go viral? It had to be somebody around them to be like, this is wild.
When they talked to the brother of the dead bride said his parents talked to the groom's parents. It was a whole meeting going on at the wedding. I'm like, y'all done called 911 or the EMS? He then said after the discussion, the parents all decided the best option would to marry off the younger sister. And that's how they said, okay. And I'm like, but how young is she? Like, what's younger? Because it was legal. I just don't want to marry, like, let me just sleep with him. That's your sister's person. It's like, that's just nasty. I can't. Not today, not tomorrow, because that's my sister's fiance, and my sister dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all could not even reap. You know, like what somebody also said how they feel like the groom's parents did not want to go home without a married son because that may be, I guess, shameful or whatever. But I'm like, the man's bride died. Like she didn't. I mean, she left with the altar, but she left and she died. Like it's weird to be like.
I'm assuming he probably barely knew his bride because that's the only other factor. Culture and him not knowing the bride is the only thing that would get them through that.
If I die, don't marry my husband.
You know,
it may be.
The only other thing I'm gonna say is we know it's cultural, but the only other thing that blew my mind was your sister was in the next room.
Ooh.
Like
dead by the wall,
not alive in the next room. That's. If we gonna give it a pass on that and respect other people's culture, she was in the next room.
And they had a party. Yeah, but like how you dance into the thing, and your sister she can't dance.
Mm-hmm.
Like did you take her clothes? Like what did you wear? Like
situation.
I just not mine. I could not fuck with that. Now the other one we have is this woman who posted this on social media. If we're not married, it's my child, and I don't have to give my child that I care for 9 months the last name of a man who ain't my husband. He's just a father, and there's no long ties to him. Even if we're married, I don't need to give my kids my husband's last name because it's 2021.
Girl, I don't know what husband you finna marry. It's not finna let you give these kids the last name. And I think that depends on probably like the relationship between you and the father. I definitely agree with her up until the point she said there is no long-term ties to the father. I mean, it just depends. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it is her child in the sense like that is her child. She did carry it for 9 months. And I see nothing wrong if she chooses to give her child her last name. And when the child's father decides to marry her, then they both can get the same last name. She'll have to go through their process, whatever. So I agree with her some part, but then on the back end, I don't really fuck with that as far as the husband part and the no long ties to the dad.
It's weird.
I don't F with it because I'm like, you lay with this man, probably no protection. And you talking about no long ties, but you knew the risk that you was taking when you decided to.
A whole baby.
Come on. So that's what I'm like, why do all this? Why do all this? I could see if it was a man, I don't know. I guess I could see if it was a man you laid with one night and you never knew him or anything like that, maybe. But if you're having sex with a man and you end up getting pregnant with his child and you end up taking the risk, why are you taking why are you trying to, I feel like you're already taking ownership of the child and not really giving him the opportunity to be as equal of a parent as you are. So that should have been considered whenever you decide to lay with him.
I think she may have kids by different men because I'm sorry. I feel like, not that we have to follow tradition, but I do feel like most of the time people get a kid the dad's last name. And I think it becomes weird if your kids have different daddies. Because again, then they do have, I know someone who has children by different people and the kids all have different last names. And I'm like, that's weird to me. Even for Eva, when Eva went to get her daughter's last name changed to her husband's last name because she was the only one who had a different last name. But that wasn't because of anything besides she had a different father than the boys. And I feel like that's something that someone may say because they don't want their children having different last names. I feel like if you is with one person, it's nothing wrong. Like, okay, is he gonna be like if he a deadbeat? Okay, fine, because you know he want to be around. Right. That part I don't mind. But if he's an active father or if he's your husband, why would you should have his last name too? Like, who name do you have? Like,
but I thought, isn't it law? I thought maybe not. I thought at one point it was law that if you're married, the child that you have automatically gets the person's last name that you're married to, unless that changed. But that definitely was law at one point.
I feel like if it's a married couple, the child probably does have the same last name as the family, but it's a weird thing. Like, what if the mom did not take the dad's last name, and then they can maybe choose the last name? But like now, not many women don't take the husband's last name, so like that's like a weird part. But I think to say like, if we marry, I don't have to give my. I'm like, if you marry, bitch, you have that name too. So like, who name is you gonna get a kid? Like, it can't be your maiden name because that's not your name anymore either. So I'm like, I think that's something that somebody who possibly has more than one child by more than one man, and you want your kid to have your last name, or you may plan to have more kids. By moment, you may know I'm gonna always have a different last name than people. So, and that I get that, but it's weird to feel like if you married, okay, that's all. I'm like, you bitch, you're your husband. Mm-hmm. She probably get. No, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say something real crazy, but that's a dumb ghetto hood rat trailer park trash type of idea to think the kid can have anyone's last name except the father. It's like, that don't make no sense. You need Jesus, and he gonna have to fix that within yourself. But can we see who she was? Oh, she's an avatar, so it doesn't matter. But Jiggy J, you sound stupid. Please get it together. That is the last.
Did she?
She was replying to Jiggy J. Her name was
Bratz girl that said it.
Well, see, she even worse. I think people post stuff and they be dumb. Honey, them avatars be kind of crazy. So we're going to go to our first show. But first of all, y'all need to like the video, okay? Like it right now because we said so. We told you to, okay? If you don't, we won't cut y'all. But again, you should just like it.
My spirit is wanting to twerk. Where is Bondi?
I know we need Bondi.
Right.
This is the funny part. I was going to try to find an old clip of her singing it and loop it, but I couldn't. I didn't have that to find one. I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna loop it because we always be dancing. So that way we ain't here. We can always hear Bondi singing it and stuff. Okay.
Like.
The video. The first show I think we're gonna cover is Growing Up Hip Hop. Is this LA? I think it's LA. I don't mind this season, but I still think it's kind of BSing a little bit. Angela moving too fast with the boy Daniel. I feel like Angela moving to Miami, getting a place for a year because Daniel was wanting to fight for a month. Well, for that month. I feel like her saying that she does not know if she is his priority. I feel like, why would you lease a space in a city, in a state where you don't live for a man you don't know? Well, she leased it for a year because she had a place in New York, a place in LA, and she leased the apartment in Miami for a year to be close to him. But she then brought up how she don't feel like she's a priority. Then why you lease this place? Like, I'm not moving for that. So I don't think it's wrong because she rich, so it's like a vacation. But I feel like, is she confused or she's stupid? I don't know which one. They may be both. Which I think.
I think it's definitely both. I feel like Angela hasn't had a man in such a long time. And the one that she did get, unfortunately, he passed away. But that was even, you know what I'm saying, a bit shaky. And wasn't it like they were so right? I didn't think about it, but Angela does move pretty quick with these guys because I don't think she was with Sutton's dad long or SJ's dad long before she got pregnant by him. And that was like a big thing because she was saying she was a virgin, but everybody was like, no, you wasn't because of this, right? You know, they were trying to line up the numbers and everything. So, I mean, she definitely moves very fast and she moved very quickly all the way down to Florida to spend time with this man. Like, I mean, I just felt like she ain't give him enough time to really show her anything. So I don't understand what that hype was all about. And now y'all not even together. So I think that she's foolish and she's a hopeless romantic. But I think she's going to get it together at some point, you know. And you know what else I'm wondering? It probably would not have been Romeo. I think, unfortunately, with Master P. But I'm like, what the people that was really trying to be with her would have been the best picks for her versus her going out and dating these other folks.
Well, at least she showed us her with the dude, because I think we've never seen her even act like she really likes Romeo or Bow Wow. I do see the difference in how she acts with Daniel than she does with them two boys or whatever. So I like that she's at least finally letting us see something real in her life, where I think the season before has been like, you know what I'm saying, it's a little play stuff. Little play.
Yeah.
I want Vanessa to get a life a little bit though. I don't think we
Girl.
really saw a lot of her this last episode, but I want them to try and get more into what she got going on.
She ain't got nothing going on.
I would much rather, I would much rather see a little bit more of what Vanessa has going on. Angela, it's always a damn romance story going on for her. She's a fool in love. She's in love with love, but love don't love you back.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about Angela.
That's true. Like everybody wants what they, I guess, can't have or something, or everybody wants somebody that don't want them in a sense, is what I'm getting. Like Romeo didn't wanted her, she didn't want them. And I'm sure she's ran into other guys outside of this guy that she wanted that didn't want her. And it's like, maybe you should turn around and maybe see what this person that wants you, maybe see what they talk about. I don't know.
But then do you think they really even want her? Do you think they just like the attention of acting like they want each other because they know that's what people like to talk about?
I think Bow Wow did. As he
Bow Wow
always
wanted
played
her.
around with her. I feel like Romeo really wanted her.
I don't know what Romeo wants. I just feel like we've never really known what his type was. Does he like sausage or does he like tacos? We never really know what his preference is. And I think he might also like hot dogs. But it's just like I just don't know. Because something about me feels as if that why haven't we've never really, I don't know who that man is. And I think he's always been playing the role of being Romeo. I'm Romeo. It's the romance. I don't think that's his real name. I think his real name was like something around Percy. I just don't like how we can see Anthem and Bow Wow could have been a couple in real life. I think she did like him, and I think he did like her. I think it was just like she wanted to be a virgin. And he wanted to fuck everybody. And she did not want to attach herself to that. But I'm like, but now you also are having sex now. It's like, is it a big issue? But Bow Wow is like an abusive, toxic ass person. So he bad for a brand. But I'm like, out of all, you are a rich, beautiful, you have no reason that you should be having these many issues, at least finding one person to be with you. It's like she picks people that is unattainable to her. But it's fun to chase.
So you think she should have got with Yo Gotti? You think that would have been a match?
I think she did her. I think he would have treated her like a queen.
When I think about,
I see him jumping.
I'm not excluding Gotti and Angela.
I seen him jump in the pool in his backyard to have money, and I'm like, see, I don't like him. But I'm like, that's just weird. Like, why are you in the pool with money? It's like it's why the money you can't. It was dumb. So she should have dated Trey Songz. Okay, I would want her with Trey Songz. They could have been pretty babies.
That was a thing. I don't remember that.
No, but it could have been in my head.
I was like,
okay.
In my head. Yeah, in my head. Yeah, I don't like as of anybody she's picked because it seemed like she's picking bad boys who has good hearts a little bit, but then with the real them's kind of crazy, and then they break up. I do want whoever she dates next will show if she has like a type, because the boxing dude reminded me of Sutton. He looked different, but he still was like a weirdly awkwardly attractive, recluse dude who like is around but not around, and she like likes him so much, but like we don't know nothing about the person, whatever. Like you picked a random unknown boxer. You're Angela Simmons. You could have picked any fighting anyone, but she just like, it's weird that she feels as if she has to date someone who no one knows. It's weird to me. I don't understand it at all. Trey does not like men.
She probably just gonna be wrong. I guess everybody for real, deep off in her business. Maybe that's probably why she be wanting somebody low key.
That's probably true.
She's Angela. People gonna always be in her business.
So do we know what Savannah is doing to make money? Look, Big Stevie daughter, I feel like, do y'all think she's on a coach?
I
don't think so.
I just wonder what she's doing.
I would hate to think that. I was hoping that she probably got in on an investment deal or some real estate or something that her parents, that Stevie didn't know about.
Because where that money come from? Because I'm like, what can a person do who moves to, say, I think in LA, and you can just out the blue afford an expensive apartment, and like, because you don't have no schooling, like you don't have no real clothes. Like, I'm like, issues. Because she could be an escort who doesn't have sex.
See, I was thinking something along those lines, like something like
that. Receptionist.
Or OnlyFans. Or selling feet pictures.
A PPP loan for a t-shirt. A PPP loan for a t-shirt. Well, she may go to jail.
She
for
got
that.
a business.
But you have to be making money though. She'll go to jail. She'll go to jail.
I'm not too. That whole idea of her probably being an escort but not giving out no cooch. When I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Krista Minkoff, Crystal said that she was like a receptionist for like an escort service, made me think that she could be getting banked for something like that.
She was a receptionist.
But this was the
they
weird
got to call the office.
She said that she said that they she also was approached to be a madam, and I'm like, well, wait a minute now, how you answering phones and then somebody approaching you to be a madam, Crystal? What's fine? But
talk about a promotion.
But a madam, don't you have to like? That's a pimp though.
Yeah.
Well, she knew how to get her husband.
Well, he got money. I don't know. Does Pepper's sister do crack? Somebody said that she do crack, and I'm like, I don't think she do crack. I don't think she do.
Okay, this is gonna be one of the clips that I say.
Someone put that in my comment section. This Pep's crackhead sister from New York, and she brought her in. I'm like, I didn't know Pepper's sister did crack. I was confused. I mean, the wig looks like a crackhead, and I don't like her wig at all. But I do feel like, no. It's like how you bring a random ass sister around here who now know gossip about TT, but her wig needs gossip, okay? No one told you your wig look crazy, but told about TT's fiance cheating on him, her. I don't like it. And I don't like Egypt saying that TT is trying to be spiteful, having her wedding in Jamaica. Bitch, her mama live in Jamaica. Exactly. You ain't never been there. Yo, girl, Egypt really makes me feel like Sam is slipping her. Yes, the crackers. Not for the time stab in. Lord
in Salt Sisters' defense, all they wigs be bad. So, and I don't think.
But this is crackhead bad though.
Do you?
We need to find Salt too. It's a bad trio.
Yeah, I was about to say all they wigs be bad, so it's not falling far from the tree. But it's something in the way she talks and in the voice that tells me she was that auntie that used to be out there. Everybody knows. Everybody got some family members like that.
This is the auntie who was on drugs. Y'all clean auntie up for Christmas dinner, okay? You gave your cousin's wig, okay? Y'all put her good teeth in to eat some meat and whatnot, and y'all let her sit around and talk about the stuff that she heard on the crackhead streets. Because we all know who get the gossip: the crackheads, the weed heads, the old heads in these streets, okay? And that's a crackhead wig.
I couldn't help but look at the sister and then look at Egypt and notice how similar they looked, without thinking about how Pep would have looked if she didn't get surgery. Like at this age.
Pep old face. That. Oh wait, that's Pep's old face right here.
They have the same nose.
They all do cocaine in my eyes. I feel like I feel like Sam is a pusher, and that's why he can do no wrong. Because y'all sitting up here dogging TT because she don't like Sam, and Sam's the devil. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, how is the auntie from New York hearing gossip about a man who lives? Because I think TT's fiance lives or works in Jamaica. So how was you hearing gossip about him? But you didn't hear nothing about Sam and Egypt getting married. Like you don't hear any gossip. I just don't believe it. They doing porn on OnlyFans.
Did you see how hard Egypt smiled though when she heard that? She said, she
was like,
The way
she said now she can have, it's her karma. It's CT's karma to get back at whoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like TC. Now I don't like Egypt this season. She's getting worse and worse every season because Sam was just like, girl, drag her down to the gutter, and she won't get out the gutter. With her crackhead auntie. I think that auntie's on crack for real. I'm gonna leave her alone because that's my auntie, but I still feel like, she needs Jesus and Jesus needs her. And not in the water. Now on to Married to Medicine, which I also feel like mostly they're not giving us much this week, however, but we seen the men sitting around meeting up or whatever, and the fact that Scott had a photo of the pretty receptionist or pretty, well, she was the person he wants to hire in his phone. I'm looking like, bruh, when Cecil said, if I was your wife, I wouldn't hire either. Why is a photo of her in your phone? Now, when I saw it, and it looks like it was him getting a facial, and she was doing it, like doing whatever. I'm like, but why did you keep that picture to show people how pretty she? I'm like, Contessa gonna divorce you. She see this episode.
She not
post Scott.
One thing is you did this and then you did it on TV, on camera, knowing that this footage may possibly get in there. So I was on Instagram and I was going through reels, and Contessa's reel recently popped up of her and her man, and it was like hashtag or something, don't give up on us, I won't give up on you, you won't give up on me or something. I'm like,
oh wow,
okay. So they still hanging there in the thick of it. They are good. So
are they? Do you think they plan their marriage? Are they playing unhappy for the cameras?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I just think they had their moments, like they up, they down, and I think they had their moments, like everybody. I think he still doesn't listen to her, like she says. I think that she still over exaggerate things, like he says. I think those issues are definitely still there.
And whenever he said he didn't want to go to counseling, it just made me think, I don't know, just his whole vibe when he was talking to the men and he was like, nah, I'm not going to counseling. It feels like Scott and Contessa are both in a burning car and neither one of them want to get out. They just want the shit to burn so neither one of them can say that they quit the marriage first.
I would quit the marriage because I don't want to be unhappy. But Contessa then decided to go to therapy and talk to a little therapist or whatever. And the one part I'll say about this is when she was asked her questions or whatever, she then said, like, do you feel like you married your father? And I did not like them trying to compare her daddy to Scott. I feel like Contessa is her daddy. I think, when she brought up how her father was not connected to her, he was unavailable. I'm like, but that's you, Contessa. You're consistently doing things to take you away from your family. So I'm like, you grew up to be your daddy in a different way. Scott, for the most part, as we know, is like around. He's at home with the kids. He isn't doing things to take him away from y'all, but you consistently do things that somebody, you did not marry your father, you became him. And I think it's weird that either Contessa did not think about that or the therapist. I'm like, she ain't never home. Like she wants to go to school, she wants to have a practice. Oh, she wants all these things that takes away from either Scott or the kids. I don't like Contessa not looking at herself as a part of the problem, not the problem, but she's a part of it. She don't ever really take ownership of that, and I don't know why though.
Yeah, I hate when she does that. I hate it so much. Like she always makes him the problem, always, and she never addresses it until somebody pulls it out of her. Like that kills me. But as far as like with her talking about her dad and stuff and feeling like she married her dad, I think she was relating him back to how her dad was with her mom, kind of like not being there and not really listening. Not that he's on drugs and stuff, but she don't even trust her husband. And I'm like, she said, how can I trust my husband when how can I trust him with my heart when he said that he was almost done with me? Then one, it kind of made me think, well, then why is you there? But then two, why are you trying to over exaggerate it to me? Talk about he said he was almost done with you. Girl, you've been out of school for about a year now, and y'all are continuing to move forward. But here go Contessa, continuing to be sitting in the past, talking about something. He said he was almost done. Like, she just does not know how to move on. And I think with Scott, he just shuts down sometimes and he don't want to talk about it because she still be trying to sit in that back place. But I also think if they go to therapy, it will help him to better have these conversations with her, because I think also one of the reasons she continues to bring it up is because y'all do not talk about it.
Thanks. I think she's projecting her guilt for leaving the family on him. She kept trying to dress it up as this, oh, women should be able to leave the house, women should be able to do that. But you can't tell me that your kids crying because you weren't there didn't tug at your heartstrings a little bit. So I feel like because you are prideful that you made a move that's not so common, you want to dress it up and make it seem like, Scott, why are you making me feel bad? So that's why she can't get over it. I mean, did you get the degree? Yes. Move forward. You don't want to move forward because you still feel guilty for what you did, and you don't want to apologize because if you do apologize, then you would have felt like you really did abandon your family. So she has issues within herself, and I feel like she's sitting in this victim role because she don't want to sit there and actually look in the mirror and say, dang, I feel bad for leaving, but was it worth it? Yes.
Because y'all still fussing now about it, and you kind of have to get over it. Because, like, I mean, girls, stop fussing. Because it makes it worse when you keep fussing about the same things y'all already gotten past. Because, girl, you got the degree. Move on from that. Lastly, the little meeting at Lisa Nicole's house, I felt like it was a pointless meeting because they didn't even really discuss anything for this town hall. But I will say is Simone being pissed that Lisa Nicole took her idea and ran with it is valid to me because we see that she did the same thing with Heavenly a couple of years ago when they had that other event that Lisa Nicole was acting as if she was not working with Heavenly. And then when Simone got there and she was like, look, you cannot be moving like, it's about you. Like you was moving like it was in a selfish way or whatever, and not as the group. I think the letter that she sent people that mentioned the show, that mentioned Bravo cameras or whatever, I do think Lisa Nicole was trying to get herself back on the show. If I can have an event and I put my name on it and it's a big event, then I would have to get, a piece back or whatever to be a main cast member. And I think that was the reason Simone was so pissed because you sent out a letter referencing the show that you're not even a main cast member on. And you are doing it to get yourself in a better position. And I think Simone recognized that. And I think Lisa Nicole hoped nobody would care. And only, as far as we know, Simone called her out on it. And I think Lisa Nicole knew, all right, you're right. I'll do it next time. I'm like, but you already kind of did the damage or whatever. And then she also then had the whole thing with Heavenly where she was like measuring Heavenly. I'm like, why would you measure somebody at the door? Like you had measuring tape ready. You had a scale and a Chanel bag ready. Like you were ready to do all this here. And I think even though Heavenly is a bitch and an asshole most of the time, when she said, I came here for the voting shit, I didn't come here for that. And she left. I felt like I would have left too. This is the one time I wasn't for no bullshit. This is the one thing. Because right now, it's about voting. Like that was like October 2020, like right before the election. Like this is the wrong time to be playing. And I respect Heavenly for like realizing I came here for a reason, you on bullshit and I left. And then with Toya getting pissed at Jackie for not controlling Heavenly and that whole thing, and Toya being upset that, okay, she's mean to me. Toya, you mean to everybody. If you had a Heavenly, you can't be taking out on Jackie. So what do y'all think about all the whole thing from the dinner scene? Because it was a lot to happen.
I'm tired of seeing Lisa. And I didn't even connect the fact that the whole town hall thing and Lisa going out there promoting it on her own. I didn't even connect it back to Married to Medicine and her just trying to solidify position back on the show. But it makes sense to me when I think at how she can make up with Quad. And Quad is just a friend of the show. You make up with Quad, but then you keep coming after Heavenly over and over. And if I was Heavenly, I would have left. I would have been done with Lisa. Like, Lisa for her works. You called Lisa out about her stuff years ago. She kept trying you, just fake as hell. So I would have been done with that. I hate that Contessa went outside and convinced her to come back in. That just like killed me. As far as Toya, sometimes I do feel like Jackie don't call Heavenly out on her shit. I do sometimes. I feel like she'll be quick to try and get other people in check or calm them or do this, that, but I don't really see her do that a lot to Heavenly. So I don't know. And I think that's why Simone was so upset with Jackie to begin with. You can tell me about myself and check me, but you need to check your Judy over here because sometimes Heavenly do run amok in the palace. But so I felt like Toya definitely should have called out Jackie. But here's the issue. When she took Jackie to the bathroom, the issue issue with Jackie. So I was just like, girl, what are we?
I was confused.
The issue is with Heavenly. So go talk to Heavenly. And I don't know. I feel like Lisa could say this, but it's like Toya, or it could have been you, Jaylee. I'm not sure. I feel like we talked about this, but anyway, yeah, when it's like Toya, you are the most disrespectful person to your husband, the most disrespectful. But you want to pull Jackie to the side to talk about how Heavenly has disrespected your husband. You're the most disrespectful, and he's tried to tell you that last week and times before. But like I told y'all, and I'm gonna wrap up. He has to put her in the position to where she feels like she's going to lose him, because if not, she's gonna continue to do what she's doing.
Yeah, what we were talking about earlier was, so when she was in that bathroom crying to Dr. Jackie, she was saying that she had introduced Heavenly to a group of friends. And it's like, you keep taking and then all of a sudden the friends that she introduced Heavenly started becoming mean. And it's like, well, dang, we seeing the same shit play out with Anila. Like, you introduced Anila into a group of girls, and then once she kind of broke herself free from being Toya's friend, she started finding out about the real you. So I'm like, you sitting there crying, trying to play victim while also trying to take credibility for putting Heavenly in the social group that she's in, when it just sounds like your friends don't like you. It sounds like people are talking about
difficult.
Yeah, she's difficult. And now she's just trying to play victim. And it's just like, I can't, every scene, every episode, y'all, I kid you not, somebody has ran. Lisa Nicole, that whole stunt with the scale thing was so Drew to me. It was so Drew from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was definitely trying to get her cookies, trying to get some brownie points. And I was like, girl, leave it. So the only other thing I will say is, I didn't expect Heavenly to run off that quick, off the scale thing.
That was shocking too.
I don't think she should have ran from it. I think she should have addressed it. It's like, what are you running for? You know, usually whenever she go down, she stands tall. And that time she was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, I don't know.
But I think it was only because of the voting stuff. I think she's
been trying to take a different approach or something this season. Because she usually be messier than what she is. And it seems like people be starting walking with her. Way more. Yeah.
I think it's because she tired of being pointed out as the messy one. I think, like, you know what? I've been on a couple of seasons. My business is doing good. Like, I don't want to keep coming off like people don't want to work with me or hang out with me. I think now she has to network more. And I think that's why she's like, I'm not even going to fuss and fight with y'all. Even on her reviews or whatever, she give like the behind the scenes stuff, but she's like, I don't fuck with them. Like, if you come to me, I'm gonna come with you back, and that's really it. But I'm like, Lisa Nicole knew she was going to mess with Heavenly. The fact that you had the measuring tape on you, you knew what your plan was from the get-go. And I think Heavenly plan was, I ain't here for that. Like, usually I'll go in or whatever, but I'm like, this one time it's about voting, bitch, and I'm about that, right? And I think Atlanta was really heavy in trying to get that off. I think her point was, this what you here for, bitch? Fuck you. I gotta go. I'm gonna leave. But she came back at least. But even that didn't work that much. But again, I think they just recorded the reunion. I still feel like nothing really happened this season, and they're gonna take another trip. So I'm like, was the season boring to y'all? Because like, what was really the big thing? I don't even know what the big issue could be this season. Like, no one had a big thing.
Big issue. I'm kind of glad they didn't have a big issue, but it was lackluster. It was lightweight. Yeah, it was real lightweight.
They can move on. The next show we're gonna do, is Run the World. I love Run the World. I think it is such a fun show. I think people don't know about it too much just yet, but I feel like most shows were really good first season and no one knows about it, and all of a sudden second season everybody watches. So I'm happy that we are watching it first season on. Couple of things. So we see the guys at the bar hanging out or whatever, chit chat. We see Anderson, Jason, and Ola, and they run into Chris. Okay, I got my own things, wrong thing. They run into Chris, who has sex with Whitney. And how much of a coincidence could it be, when the cheater runs into a cheatee or whatever. Because again, we don't know if Chris knew that Whitney had a fiance. I do think she had her wedding, her engagement ring on. So I mean, you should know it. But again, I do wonder if he really realized that she was engaged. But seeing him, I'm like, is that Chris? I'm like, oh no, please don't let them become friends. That'll be horrible. But I think this kind of represents how small the world is. So that part was crazy. Now we see the women all hanging out at the pool and they're discussing if they want to freeze their eggs, because Ella went to a movie premiere about women freezing eggs, having other options to have children or whatever, and each woman had a different idea. Whitney wants to wait to have kids. She does not want to get married to have kids instantly. Renee does not want kids at all. Sandy felt like she would have kids when she's ready, but she won't have issues having kids. They want Ella to start worrying about it. So I feel like between them two, one, the man you cheated on beating up with the man you cheated with, and also Whitney not feeling like she wants kids right now. Is Whitney's life about to implode on her, or what do y'all think about those two things?
Absolutely. Her life is about to. My bad. Go ahead, I knew it was going to implode from the episode when she saved that man's name as do not answer. I was like, girl, it is 2021. You don't want to hear somebody block their number. You doing do not answer, you about to get caught up. You're about to get caught up. Her life's about to implode.
I feel like it's possibly going to implode just off of the fact that she's probably going to come to more realization that this just ain't what she wants. She don't know if she wants to be married. He's talking about the kids that he wants. She's been seen on 2 different occasions talking about how that's not what she wants. So I just feel like they not in the same place with each other, and they've known each other since what, high school, college, or something like that. And I mean, they just growing in 2 different directions. And I think she stays with him based on the history of the relationship. She allowed her job to be more important than her actually getting to see her husband's, her soon-to-be family, her soon-to-be husband's family. Like, that's why I think it's going to implode. I think Chris could potentially help, but some part of me feels like even if he doesn't help, just seeing these signs is enough. And it's like every time something's going on somebody else, it's like she goes into a Raven Simone moment where she's thinking, and you can tell she's thinking about, how maybe I shouldn't do this. Like, you could tell, and I'm afraid she'll get to the altar and tell him, no, runaway bride.
Now they get to Ella's birthday party. The funniest part for me was the Nelly and Kelly Rowland duo. When he walked in and I seen the damn band-aid on his, I was like, Ola is so dumb. But for me, it also proves how corny he is, but also how he just like, he's like a good guy. Like he is fun, it's scary. Like I want to just have fun or whatever. So for me, it makes me wonder, why isn't she happy? Because like usually like the guy's an asshole or you see something wrong, but it's like he just isn't for her. He's for someone, but not for her. And I'm like, I don't see why she just leave him and let him be happy with someone else. But I mean, that girl, I was like, her wig. I hate that. Anyway, so we see that whole part happen. But we then found out that Renee, who was getting divorced, wanted some dick, okay? And so when you are single, okay, you do not want to, add people to your roster. So she's like, I'm going to invite somebody from the past. She invites Chris, and Whitney was like, what the fuck is he doing here? And she's shocked, but he's happy to see her, okay? He looked like he wants that old thing back, and the old thing really a new thing. And I feel like Renee invited him not knowing what happened between him and Whitney, but he knew full well he would see Whitney that night. He wants to see her. So I'm like, does he know she's engaged? Because you can't know you can't know, because what you here for? But she tells Ella she fucked them. Ella, don't tell me, I ain't gonna do that. And then he also tells her how, what's up? And she say, look, we never met. Forget it ever happened. As Ola is singing Prototype to her, and he realizes, oh shit, she's engaged to the dude who I met in the bar. So again, when he left upset, I feel like he did not know that she was engaged. because he left like he was sad. And I'm like, damn. So what do y'all think? Is he wrong for being sad that the girl he slept with got a fiance? Like, should he tell?
What is he catching feelings for? She's wrong for cheating. But what I'm saying is, if you are well known as community being, why are you upset with this woman? Like, why? I don't get why he's so attached to Whitney.
After one night, it was like a one night stand type thing. So how are you in your feelings? And I feel like he knew she was engaged. He didn't want to believe that she was engaged. So that's what he gets. And I'm glad she told him, it never happened, honey. Go about your business. Let me go up here to my fiance because you're not going to get me caught up. But he's not going to stop because, again, like I said earlier, people always want what they can have. So I feel like he's going to continue to try and be on her tail. In terms of your question earlier, Jaylee, when you asked about, I like the whole Nelly Kelly scene. It was so cute. And they look like they can have fun together. You were like, what's wrong with him? I don't think nothing's wrong with Ola. I think it's something wrong with her, though. She's the one with the issues. Yeah, she's the problem. But
she keeps putting stuff up first.
Renee. Exactly. And I'm not mad at Renee for wanting to go back and get some past DIC instead of adding to her list.
Because he's supposed to get good dick. Because, Whitney liked it. But it's weird because I'm like, you came knowing what Renee wanted to get with Whitney. I'm like, so that makes him a bad person. Because you wanted to bang friend. Like, that's nasty.
Thank you. Like, that's the thing for me. Like, you just showed up to an event. Didn't know this girl was going to be here. But you showed up to an event with a whole chick. But you mad that somebody got a fiance? Baby, go ahead.
That should mean they shit. So we then see more people show up because now Ella's drunk, Ella's upset. She's wanting to have fun. And Anderson walk in as she's singing, was it Alanis Morissette? I think it's called You Ought to Know. And the drunkenness of it all, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, and it felt like Anderson finally seen how him leaving her affected her. He was like, she really up there drunk, singing that song to me, and it's all my fault. So she then wants to get some food or whatever, so they go to the restaurant, and we kind of find out the reason or how they broke up. Now, for me, I felt like when he explained what happened, that she was depressed because her book stuff did not work out. He got offered a summer job, and he told her a week before he left about leaving because he did not want to, make her any more sad. But then she stopped talking to him when he was gone, which made him stay longer. So I do feel like it was bad communication on both ends, but they made it seem as if he did something wrong, but technically he just told her too late that he was leaving, but she wasn't right either for ignoring him while he was gone, assuming he would come back to you, but you ain't talking to him. And I was like, it was kind of crazy. Now, 2 years is a long time to stay gone, but it's Africa. You can't, you gotta just go and be over there. So I do feel like they should get back together because his point was, I left for the summer and I didn't come back because you stopped talking to me. So it ain't like it's my fault that I didn't actively do something to hurt you. You just did not tell me how you felt, and I did not tell you early enough to leave. So I do want them to kind of get back together.
Me too.
I feel like Anderson, I would like to see them get back together because he's cute and I want to keep him around on the show. But outside of that, I feel like Anderson's full of shit. I feel like you could have found ways to get in touch with this woman if you really wanted to get in touch with her instead of using the excuse of, well, you just, you didn't answer my calls. And, you were going through your whole author situation and your publishing thing fell through. So I told you 7 days before when you knew how long you could have prepared her for this. You don't tell no woman you finna leave the whole country, not just the state, the whole country in 7 days.
Almost a summer job.
Yeah,
so I just felt like Anderson is great with words. You could tell how he just walked in the first night, saw her at the club, and seduced her immediately. She kissing all on his bed. Anderson had some type of energy and just a great way with words. But if you ask me, Anderson is full of shit talking about, so what you think I'm here now? You ain't got no home? Why are you here?
He said, make a wish, baby. I was like, oh, make a wish, baby. He's making a wish, baby. It was I was like, I want to make a wish today on my birthday.
I think Anderson was just on some I was young and dumb stuff. I'm like, yeah, it could have worked out. Just give him another chance.
We like Anderson. Like he like whatever he do is okay.
He was just on some young and dumb. He didn't want to make it harder on her, you know? And I think it probably got to the point to where he was like, damn, I did fuck up, but she'll come back when she's ready type thing.
I just want it to be healthy because I feel like since he's left her, these antics we see her dropping, just grabbing random people and smashing, is trying to fill the void of what she lost with him. So I'm hoping that he doesn't come into her life and then leave her back at that same place. Like, do we have a baby? Do we have a whole nother girl? Like, what's the real reason you came back? You're saying this for her, but I feel like it's layers to Anderson.
Yeah, why did
find that out? Yeah.
I just hope he came back to stay because he's cute. Now, someone said they like this show, but they also like Bigger. I just binge watched Bigger on BET Plus. I mean, did y'all watch Bigger season 2 or season 1?
No.
It was, I like season 1 better than season 2. I'll just say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that because it could have been better. Wait, wrong thing. We're gonna go on to Couples Retreat. Look, Couples Retreat was a whole feat for me. I kept trying to rewatch it and get some notes. I got nothing about it. The couple notes I do have, it was like, I felt like this show was 2 episodes too long. I felt like the first 3 episodes were good. After that, it was like they were trying to stretch it out for no reason. And for that, I just could not, it did not compute. I know for Rashida and Kirk, they brought up how they together, they gonna keep their baby. Their son is 7. And then I'm like, that boy is an adult. Okay, you have an adult in a bed with adults. That's kind of old. And they want him to get in his own bed. Delicious and Raymond, I'm tired of her saying how his prison is the reason they having issues. I'm like, no, you the issue too. Okay, if you can't at least acknowledge like it's both of y'all, I don't care. Even Michael and Rada, she like him fucking other girls. I think it's that simple, and her acting as if she wants something different to me is weird. And the fact that they're not together now, and I'm like, there is no baby. So I'm like, she either had an abortion or a miscarriage. So that it's a weird that like no one acknowledges the baby. Like, was it a real baby? I don't get that. What do y'all think about those 3 like nobody type couples?
Nobody type. For me, I don't think that Delicious carries a lot of the difficulty in their relationship. I think what she said was valid, that he missed a big portion of the mothering in his life. But I did think it was weird as hell for Raymond to actually voice that as a wife, he requires her to somewhat kind of be his mom too. Shit was weird. Like, I know a lot of men move that way, but I've never heard anybody actually voice that was a requirement. That was weird. Rada and Michael Blackson, I don't think she likes him having sex with other women. I think that's just how she got in, and she knows that that's the law of the land. And she's so desperate to keep a man that this girl will sit on FaceTime and watch. like you're watching. And the way he said it, it's not like she watches so she can get off to it. She watches to make sure that he's not crossing any lines. But I'm like, what lines are there to not be crossed if you're already watching your man on FaceTime having sex with another woman? Right. So they should have been done. But I guess she was just trying to get in how she fit in. And then Rashida and Kirk, they really didn't have much. I don't know why your 7-year-old is sleeping in the bed with y'all. At this point, it's a partnership, like Will and Jada said, and I don't see much of a relationship. The other thing I wanted to call out was whenever they talked about the 3 memories. And he said the first time she came over to his house and she cooked breakfast for him and she was trying to act like she knew what she was doing. I was like, how old was Rashida when she was over there trying to act like she knew how to cook? I remember everybody was talking about that on Twitter. A teenager. Yeah. That's all
I think that's crazy that Raymond would say that out loud to Delicious. I think that's probably why she just gets so frustrated with him, because she does see that she is playing the mother figure to him, being his wife and having to be the mother to his kids. So that could be frustrating and wanting him to just man up. So I don't know. I feel like y'all gonna need more therapy than this 1 week that y'all got. Y'all gonna need a little more, because I still feel like she got as much as she wants him to. I feel like she still operates at a higher alpha woman.
Altitude,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like she's still up there, and she's used to being up there, and she don't have a man like that because she being his mama, and she just still so high up. I don't know. They need to work on it. I think they need to continue to go to therapy after that, because that's just like really awkward. And I wonder about his other relationships and if he was seeking that in those ladies as well.
For sure.
And see, this is the thing. Y'all wasn't even together long enough before y'all got married. So had you actually taken your time a little bit longer, you may have noticed these things ahead of time, but you didn't. So good luck with that part. As far as Rada and Michael, that is so weird to me that you want to sit on FaceTime and watch your mate. Like, you can't control anything.
Once he
gets off the phone, he gonna do what he want to do. So okay, that's dumb. I am glad that she made the announcement that they are no longer together, as they should not be. Let him go on and do his thing, because she was trying to turn a hoe to a house husband or whatever, and he just that's not what he wants right now. So, and this is the same thing we were talking about earlier, just knowing your standard and when you want to tap out
and what you
want to, like, she would be in another 10-year relationship waiting on this man to want to settle down with her, and then you would have been messed up with a child at that point. So all about your business and save yourself. Right. And then
lastly, Ray.
I don't have nothing for them. They got to figure out. They got too many kids, and I know how to get a 7-year-old out the bed. That's it.
Ray J and Princess. Now, when I watched the show the first time, I never got like why they was fussing and fighting. I think they was like sitting there, and I'm like, why are you arguing? I had no idea. When I watched it back and I slowed it down, I kept rewinding it. I'm like, she asked him, why did you love me? And he like, because you my wife, you got my kids or whatever, you the one, blah, blah, blah. And when she was like, well, I felt like she was trying to pick a fight, because like if he said he loved you, like why would you then say, well, if you love me, why you leave me? I'm like, bitch, let him love you. Leave it alone. They both are toxic. But her asking like, why you leave me at home for weeks on end of the kids? And he said, because I don't want to argue with you. And when you irritated I don't want to. I feel like if y'all can afford to not be around each other for a couple of weeks just to prevent arguments, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think as long as the kids are taken care of, as long as she has help, both of them should be allowed to have space from the other one to prevent crazy arguments. But she then said, it pissed me off when you call me a bitch. But she then called him retarded. And I was like, bitch. And the fact, they kept bleeping the word, but I kept rewinding it. She called him retarded. Because he then said, you can't call me that. And she just said, well, you're stupid. I'm like, to me, it shows me it's not really just Ray, it's also her. And when he then said she pushed me because she know eventually I'll go off. And I feel like she likes making him mad, because it then gives her a reason to dog him out because he's an asshole husband. So like, is he a bad husband? Yes, because he's done bullshit. At the same time, you can't push him to the point of being upset so that you can then fuss with him about him being an asshole. Right. Just leave him. And I'm like, calling him, the R word to me was like, why even do that? Like, for what point? Because she knew it aggravates him. Now they fussing back and forth. They both toxic or whatever. But when he told her, it doesn't matter because it's over and you can't control the edit, that's in your contract or whatever. I'm like,
contract,
I'm like, that's checkmate. Like, you can't edit what we do here. They gonna see how you are. I think we've never seen Princess fuss with Ray before. I think we've always seen Ray act the fool. I think for the first time, he's like, okay, let me show y'all what she do too. Mm-hmm. Not that he's perfect at all, because he's an asshole too, but I'm like, we've never seen her be just as bad as him. So now I get what he meant by she'll call me out my name or whatever, and she'll keep pushing me until I say, well, fuck you too, bitch, because you didn't call that man retarded or whatever, and he's pissed too. They need to be divorced forever and ever.
Now I see why he was getting frustrated with her from the beginning, because she been pushing his buttons. He been saying that, but we finally got the chance to see it. I agree. I think they should be separated, especially when I heard him call her. Well, he said, "You stupid ass BIT." That's what I heard. I was like, my mouth dropped. I couldn't believe it. I've never heard Ray J really talk like that. I was just shocked. So I'm like, oh girl, this should be over. Constant disrespect, and he called you out your name. Like,
Princess likes that shit. I think that Princess is full of toxicity, and her worst fear with Ray J is him not caring, or Ray J just being indifferent. So she pokes and pokes and pokes and pokes and pokes until he does something to show emotion, because then she thinks that she still has something to grip onto. Like, oh, if he's still mad and he still wants to argue with me, he cares. Because she kept saying to him, or are you done? Like, on multiple occasions this episode, do you want to blah, 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 or are you done? And it's like, girl, go do something healthy. Why? Like, the only way that y'all know how to communicate with each other is through arguing at this point. So that's why she continues to do it, because that's the only thing that they know how to do together. Stop monetizing a badass marriage.
If you think about it too, we never really seen them communicate much besides seeing them argue. Like, they didn't talk too much at all. This was the most we've ever heard them like sit and have a conversation between each other. And it ended in a huge argument. So I feel like that's how they communicate. They fuss and yell at each other until one of them feels like I'm the victim in this argument, or the other one is like I'm the aggressor. And they both don't even care that they're toxic. I'm like, y'all kids gonna see this shit. Like, what is y'all on TV? Like, it's cool. So I'm like, I'm just over the whole thing. The show was cute, but I also feel as if the show should have been like a 4-episode special.
Yeah.
Because it was shot over it was probably shot over 5 days, to be real, because they were at the resort for a week. So that's why they probably didn't have that much to talk about.
The fact they showed Yandy trying to teach Michael to swim, I'm like, what the fuck? Really? So I'm like, okay, y'all didn't have nothing else. We don't care about Michael swimming. Like, I'm just going to, this made me mad. But I'm happy to show, if it comes back, I want it to be longer, but with more couples. But more couples with actual, like, Michael and Ryder should have not been on the show. I think that was like a ploy to get, I think you have enough Love and Hip Hop cast members or couples or whatever, that could have been a real show for like 10 episodes, because you could have had each couple on an episode. Like, if they there for a week, cover each couple each episode and then do that. But I'm like, this whole it was team. I'm like, I need to go away with this. But Black Ink Crew, the only thing I think that happened on Black Ink Crew that I want to talk about is Donna's being delusional. It's weird to me that, because I've watched Black Ink Crew from the beginning, and I'm like, Donna went on the first couple of seasons. She came on around like season 4, whatever. So it's weird to me that Donna keeps saying how she's been around since day one. She deserves some kind of respect for that. I'm like, but you have not been around that long. And I feel like, and I hate to have to defend C's, but I do agree with him saying, I don't have to let you use my space if I don't want to, for one. And for two, you never told me what you wanted to do in my shop. So that's why I never agreed to give you space. And for Donna and Alex to both act as if with C said, I'm like, C didn't say yes. They kept showing footage. And then when she was arguing with the producers, as far as them trying to not have them fussing and fighting for the first time. Like, let's go somewhere and talk or whatever. And Donna still wants to fight and fuss. I'm like, C's was right. Donna don't want to go to the show. And even though C's is an asshole completely, but he was right in saying Donna is not trying to grow with the company. She wants to keep fussing and fighting, and I don't like that. So I just think Donna's crazy. I don't know if y'all think she's crazy too, but that's all that I think happened this episode.
I used to really like Donna. I used to really, really like her. I don't know what the heck been going on ever since that fight happened with C's and Alex and her and all that stuff. I actually didn't even pay that much attention to this episode, because with Black Ink Crew, what I get tired of with them, sometimes they have real moments and sometimes they have overly scripted moments. And it just like, it's too much for me sometimes. So I didn't even really fully capture whatever she got going on.
Some bullshit.
I do think Donna is wild though. How the hell are you gonna use somebody else's space? Like, it's something about Donna that she's a little slow, bless her heart. Like, logically, how are you going to use somebody else's space for your business and think that because you are good friends with them that's owed to you or something? Like, I'm just not understanding. She wants to, I think she feels like because C's keeps so many other bums around him that really doesn't lend much, that she should be respected, and if they can get over on you, then why am I the one who has to be, talked to about it? Ted said something like, I couldn't take him seriously when that fool said it's the entitlement. Ted has sat on the couch all season that I've seen him.
But this is the one thing I said about Ted. Ted's drug money is what opened the shop. So I feel like that's they have so that's how C started from the beginning. Well, that's the allegedly. Okay. But Ted was in them streets doing whatever, and his money was what helped C's first get started with his first shop. So that's why Ted has always been around, as far as I know. But I feel like Donna wanting to use the shop as if, he said, I will rent you a space to have your model casting call. And for her, well, no, I want to use your space. I'm like, but he said no. But he also said, no, you can't, but I will rent you somewhere to do. I'm like, you can't want someone to help you, but only want them to help you how you want to be helped. You either want help or you don't. And I think as much as an asshole as C's can be, I've never seen him offer to help her until now. And she just in her own head is like, well, you should do what I want you to do. I'm like, but between the boss.
Right.
C's the boss.
That's crazy. I don't know what the hell going on with her, because she just like the boss people around. She's a tall, big girl. So she feel like she could just muscle bound people around, just like how she was doing Alex on the plane and stuff. Everybody not Alex. And I don't even know why she would even think she could approach things like that.
Did y'all peep how Alex said she's going through a lot right now? We don't have a home. We're looking for a home. So did he mean like they're homeless? Or did he mean they're in the process of moving to a home? I was like, what?
I know, like on the first episode back, he brought up how because they have been traveling so much, their lease was going to be up on their place. But I feel like if your lease up and you have not found somewhere else, you re-sign your lease. You don't just be homeless. I feel like if you homeless, that's on you. It takes you can't, like, homelessness can happen in the blink of an eye, yes. But however, you can't know your lease is expiring and just don't sign it. Like, that's on you. You can't, that ain't a reason for her to be acting this way. I'm like, Donna's just on bullshit. But she's always on bullshit. Because she feel like, because she said how I may not work for Black Ink the tattoo shop, but I'm an asset on the show. So for me, she crossed the fourth wall, because you now not bringing up the tattoo on the vlog. You like, on Black Ink Crew, the TV show, I'm a cast member. And so at the end of the day, if I bring views to the show, I should be able to use the cash shop because I'm on it. I'm like, but he owned that shop. You can't act like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, Donna just stupid. But I'm going to leave her alone because, again, we're going to do on stupid too long. But I want to get to Jocelyn's cabaret, which I also feel like I didn't mean to cover you up, Jamie. I'm so sorry. I should have put it in the middle.
It's fine. It's all good.
But with one of the girls, like, I'm a part of Jocelyn's cabaret.
Part of the show. I did not put up. I don't like Chanel, so Chanel ain't wrong here. But wait, I'm gonna pop it off and on. But I'm like. Well, because I did not include Chanel at all, but I do not like. I think Chanel is not a real part. I did not have Yummy P at first. I added her because she was on this episode. But Boss Tech, who's in the front with the boobs all out or whatever, is a drunk. Okay, they talking about how drunk she was at the previous night's event. Okay, how she was cussing and fussing, blah 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 blah. Now when Lexi Blow and Chanel and Sapphire talking about it to Jocelyn or whatever, Jocelyn said, look, I don't need y'all gossiping to me. If y'all gonna talk shit to Boss Tech. Right. I respect that, but I also like how Sapphire said, like, it's the time and place for everything. So I'm not gonna talk to her till after rehearsal. So Yummy P talks like Nicki Minaj. If you listen to her talk, it's a Nicki Minaj impersonator, just like longer. I was like, that's Nicki Minaj. She must be a fan of.
I don't know who she talked like, but it's very.
It's probably more.
It's very weird
than a damn Nicki.
Yeah, I want to know what happened in your life at 8 years old for you to never abandon that 8-year-old.
Because she's stuck. And it's weird because she bring up, like, I no one is respecting me, and I'm like, because you itty bitty baby. Like, you talk like an itty, bitty baby. And at the little rehearsal, when Jocelyn brings up how the girls are dancing too fast, I'm like, because Yummy P is like a fast dancing cheerleader. And that's how she taught the women. Like they was moving too fast for it to be like burlesque. And it's like, slow down. It's not a cheer. Like, you supposed to seduce them. And I'm like, she don't get that. And so when they do talk to Boss Tech, who looks drunk on here, but I'm gonna leave that be. But I feel like her saying that she's not an alcoholic. I'm like, but you drinking at the rehearsal. Like, she took a break from dancing to go get a drink. And then said, because I need to watch y'all. I'm like, no, you can't dance. And you know you can't dance. And you can't dance if you drunk or sober, because she looked off even in the rehearsal. So I like how they told her, like, look, you have, you act different when you drunk, and that's what it is. But she admitted it, but she also said, I'm not an alcoholic, but you are. I think you are. They went to the house and talked or whatever. Natural was pissed because Jimmy P called her out for talking over her. And I was confused too, because I'm like, what does it matter if everybody talking about the dance? Like, why do you have to be? It confused me. So she's pissed. She cussed her out. And then at the end of it all, Jimmy P loses her captain badge to Sapphire. It was too much nothingness for me. I think it was like 50 minutes of like just stretched out yelling and stretched out. I'm not a drunk and stretched out. Bitch, I was your friend. I'm looking like I don't have time. I'm lost at the sauce. But what do y'all think about the ladies of the cabaret?
I'm not a fan of Yummy P. I thought it was interesting when we learned about her mom. Her mom and her grandmother is the reason that she's the way she is. She's always being talked over, and Jocelyn just said that everyone does it to you. Even Lucky admitted that she talked over you, but you chose to bring your attention to Miss Natural. I think she did that because I feel like she felt as though Miss Natural could have been an easy target, because not only is she a good dancer, but because you have that friendship and you don't feel threatened by Miss Natural, so you will call out the other ladies that you may be threatened by. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why she called her out, until Miss Natural gave you something to be threatened by. As far as Boss Tech, and I am glad that she lost her title, and I'm glad to see that Sapphire now has the opportunity to be captain. As far as Boss Tech, baby girl, you a drunk. And you up there you up here admitting that you are a drunk, you have alcohol issues. And then when you talking to these ladies and they're explaining to you like, hey, I saw you have a drink here, there, you arguing with them. It shouldn't even be an argument on something that you just admitted that you have. So why are we going through this? And then did y'all hear how she started talking about how she was a stripper, took all her money and gave it to her man?
Yes, I was like,
oh, what the? It was a lot going on, but it was a decent episode.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jamie, all the way. She admitted, she literally said, you would never be able to tell. And then when Lexi Blow said, I could tell, she was pissed off.
What you mean?
Right, what you mean? Like, is it factual or is it not? What's the damn difference if you just admitted that you were? And then on top of that, you kept telling everybody that you only drink when you at work or when you go out, but you drinking during the dance rehearsal.
Right, so awkward.
Weird. I'm glad that Yummy got her title taken away. However, I don't think it should have been given to Sapphire. She can't dance. She wasn't doing good to me during the rehearsal at all. She literally during the rehearsal, to me, I thought she was one of the worst ones, at least from the clip that they showed. And then she gets
you know what I thought was bad?
Who?
Boss Tech was bad, but also I felt like Big Lex wasn't moving right.
Big Legs wasn't either. Not during the rehearsal. That clip, I was like, what's going on? So she was just giving the bottom bitch title just based off the hustle. I want this shit, man. So that's why she got it. It was nothing sympathy. But a lot. Yeah, sympathy. I mean, she had been asking for it the whole time. All the sit downs we've been seeing has been Sapphire and somebody else, and Jocelyn. She just been telling Jocelyn how bad she wanted. So I think she should be given the opportunity, but to be the dance captain, nah.
It's like, why not have somebody else who like why would the girl who came in as the coach or whatever, why not have a captain who knows the routine to teach them? You having someone who don't know the routine. It's a freestyle. I just don't see how it's gonna be an event.
Y'all came up with this? Hell no, that's crazy.
It seems simple. It seems simple and made up, but I feel like Jocelyn is like, you know, in her head, she thinks it's like, okay, it's this so thing, and it's really not. And they just like, one is too many girls. You should get rid of that. She should get rid of Chanel, Boss Tech.
Definitely.
I also think she should get rid of Yummy P. I don't think Yummy P will fit with what they're trying to do. I think she should keep Natural, Lexi Blow, Sapphire, and Lucky. I think those would be a good.
I'm low key.
I agree with Nikki though.
Going home, not now, but I'm low key leaning towards Natural, not fitting that cabaret look in my mind because every time I see her, she really is pop locking and break dancing.
She be high though.
She's more of a dancer and not the stripper cabaret.
They say Jonathan thinks she Debbie Allen.
She do. Jonathan was telling me because she was mad. She wasn't mad that they didn't know the routine. She was mad that they had her getting out of breath doing the dance more than once.
Because she's like, you know, y'all should not be faster than me.
Yeah, she was funny. Then the last time she was like, I'm just gonna watch. Yeah, just watch.
And she was tired. Yeah. But I think she should be like the host of it and not really like the dancer too. Because you know, you the main star. Shake a little ass, little breast, or whatever, and then sit down somewhere. But trying to keep up with the younger girls is not gonna work. Like y'all would never be in sync. Plus, they strippers. I feel like people don't know strippers are not usually, you know, trained dancers to where they can, you know, learn choreography. So I'm like, to keep acting like, you know, they should get it. I'm like, Jonathan, you better get it. So, like, how you better they didn't get it?
Speaking of strippers, there's a show. I don't know if it's new or what. Have y'all heard of it? Yes. Have y'all heard of that?
I know it was out last season. I think it was on some streaming. Was it on YouTube? It was on somewhere else first.
It was on All Black because didn't that have Stormy in it? It was on All Be Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it was coming back as a new season or if it was on somewhere else and now it's coming on here. I want to watch it because the reason I don't like shows on WeTV because they be cutting out too much. I'm like, I want to see the real shit that go on. Like this should be on Zeus, but I don't know. But I'm gonna catch it. Yeah, I do. I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I've seen like an episode of it, but I haven't watched it since last season. I'm gonna try it out though. To see what they give it because you know you never know. Our last what came on already?
Today, yeah, it came on today.
Oh, I have to record it. Watch it on my DVR. Our last show, which is our favorite show, Ready to Love. Okay. So much happened. But pause. I just want to use my pause button. Because I couldn't before. And y'all have to like the video, okay? Please like. We need to see. I gotta record Bonnie one day. But like it, okay? Love it, okay? Push it, okay? And then twerk with it away, and do a little shimmy with it over, and do all that stuff.
You should get that. What's that meme of the lady with the bob and she got the glasses?
Oh, Tina! Oh my God, I love that show. I watch Bob's Burger. I watch Bob's Burger every day, okay? Because it's always on when I'm going to bed at like 5 a.m. I love Bob's Burger. Okay. But Ready to Love had all these dates with all these foods and all these people, okay? Let's go person by person. First up, we have Kira. Is it Kira or is it Kira? I think it's Kira. Jason and Tim. Okay, Tim is her ex who was on video chat or whatever. I feel like not much came of their conversation besides the fact that Kyra is bad at money management and she may not be that good at communication because she does not like to let things go. I feel like we do that because she was holding on to AJ being a broke bastard on a date or whatever. What do y'all think about this threesome of a conversation? Was it anything or nothing? Because it could be either or.
I felt like it was nothing, and I felt like Jason used the excuse of her quote unquote finances thing as a reason to say that he's kind of like undecided or whatever. And I'm like, Jason, you probably ain't even got yourself together either. Like you over here talking about her. I don't think her money management is as bad, but I don't know for sure. But I feel like he was kind of making it an excuse, and I felt like their whole thing was like a bunch of nothing, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Bunch of nothing.
He was ready to blast. He said something like, she don't let stuff go. Like, they spliced it. In the middle of the conversation, he said something like, would you hold that same anger towards me where you would be able to let it go? But I was like, dang, I wish we heard the beginning. One thing I think they missed with the whole episode, I wanted to know why all the couples broke up. They just said, here's my ex. So,
right.
Like, when y'all break up, what happened? What y'all do? Now, even we got to Amber, Chris, and Tony. First of all, I knew this was on my lab or whatever. Honey, when Tony came on the screen, I don't know if it was his lips, the turtleneck, or the little flower thing. I was like, he looked gay.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's not nice. You can't think that man look gay. You can't do that.
Me too, Jaylee.
And the minute he said he liked, I said, oh, I was right.
Me too.
I don't feel bad no more. I was like, oh, that's not nice. You can't think that. Like, you can't, because I'm like, you can't, someone can't look gay. And then I was like, but sometimes they can, because
my note said Tony looked funny looking. And then the next note, I was like,
he's gay. Nothing came of their date either. I think it was like, okay, he was gay or whatever. They friends. Nah. Chris wants 5 kids, and Amber is okay with having 5 kids. She said she wants to be a mother more than a wife. A lot of people commented on my video and said how they feel as if Amber is structured her answers to fit what Chris wants. A part of me doesn't feel that way, but a part of me does. I feel like something that she doesn't mind, she's going to disagree with. Like, I think something she's against, she's like, okay, I'm against that. But I think if she doesn't really care either way, what Chris wants is what she then wants. And I'm like, but would you really want to have 5 children by this man who's a DJ? Because truthfully, he's a DJ. Can he afford to have 5 children? Like, is he a paid DJ? Is he a good paid? Like, is somebody like Martin was a DJ in a 1-bedroom apartment and a bad car. So, like, how much was Martin getting paid on his TV show? So, like, is Chris getting paid like that? Like, why would you want children with a man who you don't know if you can afford them? If your money and your job will fit the bill. So I don't know how I feel about that. What do y'all think about Amber, Chris, and Tony?
I don't even think she thought about all that. She was just so worried about whatever Chris wanted. How you go from saying I want 3 or 5? That's a big ass difference. That's a car versus a minivan or a super. Like, that's true. Like, what do you mean? So yeah, I think she's just I think she likes Chris, and she's kind of just like, I like him so much, like whatever he wants, I'm fine with.
I would agree with that. And that's a good way to look at it, because I didn't even see it like that. And I'm looking back like, I could see that being possible. Girl, you're a whole ass DA. You're an attorney. Are you going to have time to do that? Is he really going to, like, sometimes people don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody being a DJ, she's being an attorney. But for real, when it's time to, like, make decisions on what it is you want and the type of life that you want for yourself, your family, your kids, like, is he going to be able to meet you there? And this is cute now for you to say, yeah, whatever he wants, I'm with it. But in about a year or so, I don't see it going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Pola tink tink po.
He's not going to be able to meet her.
I think she won't care if he don't meet her. I think she's willing to just be with him however he wants to be with her. And I'm like, that ain't the smart thing to do. Now with Venetia, Joel, and David. Okay. First of all, I did not like this hat and his girl. Joel, to me, looked corny today. I don't know what he was going for, but whatever. Now, David was handsome. I like David or whatever. Joel asking one if she's clingy pissed me off. Well, I'm like, why you keep asking that or whatever? But when, you know, the dude said no, she's clingy. But when she then went on to explain that her issue with him was that he's not good at communication, that they had dinner plans or whatever, and he was supposed to call her back to, I guess, set it up or whatever. He then said, I'm going to call you back in a couple hours or whatever. Three hours later, he had not called her. And I feel like their disagreement he talked about last time was because of this. Because she probably cussed him out for not calling her back about whatever the plan was. And I feel like for him to say that he felt like she should have known the plans changed because he did not call. I'm like, What if you died? Like, how would I have known that something came up and that's what happened? You can't not call me and say I should have known some shit. That angered me to high heavens. And for me, I feel like we're seeing little by little why he's single. Because he on bullshit. But what do y'all think?
I think he definitely full of shit. And I'm wondering if she didn't use that as an opportunity to reflect back to the terrible relationships that she's already had to see that, I don't know about this. This is actually familiar to what I've experienced from the past. Let me scoot on and skedaddle. But obviously, it's something about him, some type of energy that he's giving off that she's loving. I don't like that he continues to ask about her being clingy, yet you continue to entertain her. So how does her clinginess really matter? And the fact that you would come in and tell her she's supposed to know, that makes no sense. That's like you getting test results or something and your doctor say, oh, you're supposed to know what it is. Like, no, I wouldn't if I didn't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and then I also feel like y'all are getting to know each other. This is still the beginning stages. Like, I feel like with some friends, I have friends that I know they're going to be late. We've had enough friendship. You know, we've been in our friendship long enough for me to know how they move and how they are. Y'all don't have that. So I kind of feel like that's a bit of a red flag. But if he's willing to like actually take heed to that and fix that, I can see it possibly, you know, working between the two of them.
I wouldn't mind them leaving together, but I just know it won't last. I think Joel is, well, number one, I want to say he was definitely going for Paperboy with that outfit. The cardigan, the Applejack hat. He was going for Paperboy.
That is what he looked like from the 20s, girl.
Yes, and he also looks like Peter Gunz, a little more handsome version, but I think he looks like Peter Gunz.
Peter Gunz with no kids. Like if he had no kids, that's it. Peter.
Well, he got 2 kids, but
oh, he do.
Yeah, remember he has 2 kids. Joel, he's acting out because I think that he knows him and Vernicia. I keep saying Vernicia. Him and Vernicia were on the same page early on by committing to each other. And I think he knows that now that things are coming to a close and now he's seeing, you know, opposites attract. He's wondering what it would have been like for him to date other women. So I feel like he's trying to flip it and put it on Vernicia and be like, are you clingy? Because now he's wondering, should he have not put all his eggs
dated somebody else?
Yeah, I just don't like how he's trying to flip it on her. But
he ain't shit. We don't like him. Alexis, Ronald, and Joseph. This one, oh God, Jesus Christ. Later on, he's even worse. Ronald bringing up how he's not about that church life. I'm not in the church. I had a bad, experience with church or whatever. He feels as if pastors or whoever is like money hungry. And he like, I would never be, the one who will, start being in church, who will start wanting to go or start wanting to pray for things. Like if we need something, I'm not going to pray about it. I'm going to go out and get it. I'm like, did you just diss Jesus? Like, how do you say that? Like, how do you tell someone who he know Alexis is about her faith? And I feel like if you like her, why even say that? But I'm like, that's neither here nor there. Even trying to call the dude Joseph, like, I can feel Jesus on your shoulder. I'm like, Ronald. But Alexis, who bring up how whoever she's with would have to know that she will have influence over their life. So she feels as if Ronald should know she's going to make his life better. I feel like clearly you two are not compatible because you want someone who wants to at least be open to your faith, but he isn't. So why do you keep fussing and fighting with him about it? I think like she just want him because, as she said, he picked me, so I need to pick him. And I'm like, that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And this is the ex who she was with before her ex-husband. So again, that was a long time ago. But what do y'all think about the foolishness of Ronald and Alexis on this damn day?
I think that Alexis, I think she's insecure. I feel like I've been trying to figure her out this whole time. I've been trying to figure out why she's been so like for everybody, why she's been so extra. And I think she feels like she has to be that way because maybe she feels like it's something that she's missing. So that would perfectly explain why, when her and Ron was sitting down, he was like, oh, well, it feels like you just needed validation. And high key, that's exactly what it was. She just needed validation from somebody that she was going to be somebody's number one. So, I mean, I'm glad that she got to the point to where she realized that you can't bend on your faith for a man.
Agreed. And I didn't understand why she continued to go after him when she knew that that was her deal breaker or whatever. She looked very dumb. So it made it like whatever he said, like, I don't know if he called her thirsty or something. He called her something. And I mean, he was right. He was right about what he said. Like, you just wanted to hop on a dude just to be on a dude. See, here's the thing now that I'm thinking about it. I just feel like everybody just doing whatever they got to do to stay on the show. I don't know what they're getting paid or what's happening, but that's the energy that I'm getting, that you guys sit up here and talk about what your standards are, and you just completely throw them out the window just to stay on the show. And the guys doing the same shit. I don't know.
Definitely. That's AJ and Alexis. They just trying to stay on the show.
And then when did we get to, okay, so like when AJ kissed her just to shut her up, just to like, girl,
just to hush her up.
Yes,
but then she led with, when she came on the show, she led with, do I have DIC like written on my head? Do I have
right?
Yeah.
That's the energy that you present to people, ma'am. That's what you give off.
Because when she told AJ on their date that she felt like, you don't make me feel confident in our relationship because you're not like pursuing me. And she kept talking. And the fact that she was happy that he kissed her just to hush her. He said, can you hush real quick? Okay. Yeah. And she said, okay. And I'm like, that's not a reason to like really want to be happy that he kissed you. And even with Jason and Liz talking or whatever, and I'm like, y'all, it was weird because he, like, you know, I love hanging out with Liz, and Liz, like, when he make me like a kid, I'm like, because he's childish. Like, Jason is an adult. I get he's an adult, but he acts like a child. He acts like acts like he's a college student who's like 24. But he's still a college student at the same time. I don't get the connection between them.
I feel like when he said, I've been enjoying all of my dates recently, I don't think he was talking about the date with just her. I think he was just talking about all of them that he's been going out on. But he looked at her and said, I'm enjoying the dates that I'm having with you. And I'm like, you are such an unattractive player, and it's bothering me so much.
Unattractive player?
Like, he is just really, like, I don't see the chemistry. She just sits there and eat it up. And she's going to also do the same thing, right? David is a whole fool. We know that. But she, too, is going to do the same thing Alexis did, which is go to the person that was interested in her.
Yeah.
Let's get on Liz, David, and Clarence. So we know, you know, the women had to introduce the men to they exes or whatever. When David walked in and she introduced him as her ex, I feel like he was instantly aggravated that he was even in the presence of somebody she used to mess with. He was mad from get. And I feel like Liz felt that, and I think she felt protected more by Clarence being there. I think if Clarence had not been there, she may not have felt as protected or whatever, because of course she told him about the stuff he did with telling his friends that she kissed Jason. Now, when David get there or whatever, and he asked her, well, when was the last time y'all were in? I'm like, don't do it. I'm like, why does that matter? Like, if you're there to like talk to him, the fact that was her first question, that aggravated me. They both said it was a kiss years ago, but I like Clint for calling him out on his shit. Like, look, you call her out for kissing old boy. You say how you want your woman to be your safe space. However, you weren't a safe space for her. So how can you even, you know, make her feel like she's safe with you? And when he looked at her, Liz, you know how much I respect you. Okay, the pedestal I put you on, you know, how I'm like, all this landed on real thick or whatever. And I like that Liz in her confession that I felt like it was bullshit. But I feel like David knew he could not bullshit Clarence. And Clarence saw through the bullshit of it all. And he kept making it seem as if Liz is you. And then when he said, you know, let's kind of calm down this energy. And Clarence said, I'm an alpha. I can't be with you. I said, okay, Clarence, why didn't you date Clarence? Be with Clarence. And when he left, David left, and Clarence said, like, he's showing you two different people. You don't even know who he is, and he's just showing you things to get you to like him. That is not who he is. I'm looking like he seen David for his work. And I'm like, it's one thing, men can sometimes fool us, but you can't fool another man. And I think David left because he knew if I stay here any longer, he gonna keep calling me out. I need to leave right now. And I'm like, girl, Liz, bitch, run. I just cannot. What do y'all think?
She looked very uncomfortable to me when that sit down was happening. Shout out to David, because I love that he didn't play the radio. He didn't waste no time. He went straight to, hey, it's nice to meet you, but I got some questions that need answers.
Mm-hmm.
He dove right in. David is already not David. I meant, what's the friend's name? Clarence. I'm sorry. Clarence dove right in. But with David is already a man that's threatened anyway. He was threatened by a kiss. He didn't even get to witness. And then here it is. You got the friend right here in your face. He just got some deep-rooted issues, deep-rooted insecurity issues. And the fact that he tried to play on words with Liz in front of this man and didn't think that another man was going to recognize game was hilarious. I see you. And then you get in the confessional and talk about how much you hate it. Yeah, that's because truth be told, you knew another man was going to recognize game. And you knew that Liz had not just some ex that ain't nobody that don't care. This is an ex that's like really close, like a brother to her. And the fact that you would ask, Liz should have said, this dinner, this date is over. When he asked, just to make sure we're clear on everything and everybody's relationship. When was the last time you guys have engaged in any sexual activity? That's none of your business, number one.
None of it.
You're not my man for any of that to go down. I just feel like we don't even have your dates at the table to question. We don't even know a lot of your background aside from what you tell us. So I feel like she should have cut it short and like, we're going to go ahead and head out. We got to go. He's a fool.
I did want to know when the last time was. The only reason why I wanted to know was because I think it's so weird whenever people break up and then all of a sudden, or break up where people try to see each other out and all of a sudden that's your brother, it's your sister. That's weird. But the only reason why I wanted to know when was the last time is because he asked Clarence. Clarence said a long time ago, and then Liz says, it was a long time ago. She just looked so uncomfortable. So David is slowly but surely showing his ass. I knew something was a little bit off when early in the season, whenever he told Liz that his ex-wife just got up and left one day. Ain't no woman just getting up and leaving everything she knows, somebody she done married, her house and everything off of nothing. It's because something about David is very smothering, and that's definitely what he showed us. And I also feel like David is trying to groom Liz, but I'm glad Liz peeps it. The more information that she gave him, trying to be transparent, thinking that he wouldn't be controlling with it, he used it against her to try to embarrass her and punish her, and then turn around and build her back up. So that way you could say, okay, now be a good girl, do this. So I was like, yeah, it's something way off about David. I'm glad that Clarence saw it. And yeah, I'm ready for him to go home. Wait, are we going to talk about that? The sit down?
Yeah, but I feel like if Clarence wasn't there, Liz would have fell for his shit. I'm happy that I'm happy he was there because like, oh, that was tough. Because if Clarence wasn't there, David would have kept going with the Liz. Like he would have kept just talking to her to kind of get her to feel like, okay, it's not him, it's me. But let's just get on to the stuff of what happened with them, girl. Let's give a Ronald and that lady, Alexis, okay? Alexis and Ronald talked. The bottom two men was, Ronald and David. So when Alexis talked to Ronald, and when she tells him that, he told her that she's seeking validation or whatever, and that, she can't offer him anything. Do I think she's seeking validation? Yes. However, I also feel like each person is because you want to be picked, but she's willing to be picked by someone she's not even really matching with. Like, he's different from you. I think that's the part he was right in. But telling her that she can't offer him anything, I'm looking like, bitch, then why are you here? If you feel like she can't offer, why is she your person to date if she can't offer anything? And I feel like that at that point, she knew, okay, I can't even. Because I think I'm mad at cut off at that point to be able to wait till next week. But I feel like if that is the nail in his coffin, nothing else can be. Because like you telling her that she ain't shit, basically.
And I couldn't deal with him because I won't want those type of conversations to continue to come up in a relationship, because I feel like Ron thinks that he is a woman's gift. Like he got all his stuff together, and then he just kind of like looks down on them. I'm like, y'all go ahead and send Ron home so he can go ahead and get with Chrysanthemum, because that's who he really wants. That's the person that kind of fits his fly. So let him go ahead and run up after her, and she gonna dog him too, because she's not gonna be emotional. It's gonna be very interesting if the two of them were to get together, because he's gonna still want her to operate as that woman, right? Because he's like, once he gets to a place where he wants to marry, he's gonna want the woman to be at home and stuff. So he gotta understand, Chrysanthemum, just like you really can't deal with you. Not on no woman. You couldn't even deal with the conversation that Alexis was trying to have with you. And Chrysanthemum, clearly she's a very blunt person. So he's not gonna be able to handle her, but y'all gonna send him home so he can get with her.
Yeah, send the man home. Part of me kind of understood what he meant whenever he said offer me, but I don't think that means he was in the right. I think what he meant by offer me was like, you can't give me anything tangible to make me a better man than what I am now. Like, I am it. I'm the end all be all. That's what he was thinking. But you and your friends spent this whole show telling Alexis that she was the type of woman that could help him build an empire. So that's what she was referring to whenever she said, are you only choosing me for what I can offer you? Right, that's what she was saying. So yeah, what the fuck is divine masculinity? I've never heard of that before, but
I don't know. And I was confused. I'm like, did he mean? I've heard of divine intervention, but I've never, I was like, is that what he meant? He confused me. So I'm like,
I know what he meant, but I've heard people say divine feminine before. I've never heard of divine masculinity.
Because he making up shit. But the end all that be all, honey, David and Liz, even though this is a short scene, I still feel like, when Liz brought up how she had not talked to him since their dinner with her friend Clarence, and she did not know how he would react or how he would even, come off during their meetup or whatever. And from the moment he walked up, and he would not let her talk, he kept cutting her off. And I think the fact that I think they all know why they be there at this point. It's either to have it's a conversation about if you was there or go. I feel like him attempting to talk first was to leave the show and not be put off the show. I think he knew that Liz synced through his shit. And if I'm coming here tonight, it's because you're the only one I have a connection with. And how we left things and how we haven't talked yet, I want to get my piece out first to make it seem as if you didn't break up with me, I broke up with you. And I think that's the only reason he would, because there was no other reason for him to not let her at least say the reason they were there. And then he can say what his piece was. So I feel like him fighting with her to talk to me was his thing, saying, I'm not going to allow you to have anything over me. I'm not going to allow a woman to send me away. I'm not going to allow someone to leave me. I'm gonna leave you. And if you don't allow me to talk, I'm gonna keep saying, but Liz, let me lead. I'm like, no, bitch, she invited you here. Let her talk. And I'm like, you stood up for what? So I just, what y'all think?
David is a clown that needs to go. And I hated it that he kept cutting her off. I felt like that was so disrespectful. Yes. So disrespectful, would not allow her to talk or anything. Then it looked like he tried to lean in and kiss her, but some people said he tried to lean in and sit her down. Either way, you out of range, and that's not cool, and I didn't like that at all. So I wish it was the day they were sending him home, but unfortunately that wasn't it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how things are going to pan out next week for David. But at this point, David or Ron can both go. They both up for grabs.
That's exactly what I said. They can go. Exactly what I said. And honestly, I said all four of them can go. Liz, Alexis,
quadruple elimination.
They all can go.
She's sending everybody out.
Liz, she was trying to send this man home fast. She was trying to run. I watched it a second time and I was laughing because she said, me and the ladies met with Tommy. And I was like, damn, she didn't even do no, how are you doing? He knew what was coming. So just like Jaylee said, he was like, let me go ahead and assert the end of this before I get put out.
Because he's an asshole. I feel like it's weird. I felt like Dave and Liz could have been a couple 2 episodes ago, like around the ball, the masquerade ball. Okay, they match each other's energy, but now it's looking like no one who I thought could be a couple would really match. Like David and Liz, even with Venetia and Joel. Now I'm looking like you should not be with him because he's fickle as fuck. I think the only couple who makes sense right now is Amber and Chris.
Yeah.
Nobody else is really a solid couple. AJ wants to be with Alexis because there is nobody else. And I think Kira Kyra wants to be with Jason only because she don't really want to trust what she has with AJ. So I feel like all of them is like just trying to get a match to be on the end of the show, and then that's really it.
Yeah.
And it got on my nerves.
So we just got a definition of divine masculinity in the comments. Divine. There we go.
Divine masculinity is an action-based focus where you do instead of just be. It also universal fatherhood energy based on Google. Oh, well, okay. Thank you, KA.
That's why.
Well, he did say he ain't gonna sit, wait, and pray. He gonna go and get it. So I guess that's what he means by action.
God told him, look, I'm gonna sit your ass down in a minute. But that was the whole show, y'all. I'm ready for other shows to come back because I feel like some shows is not giving us anything. I'm happy that what's coming back. Sister's coming back. The Lockup is coming back. Put a Ring on is coming back.
Yep.
Potomac. So it's like I'm just waiting for some new blood shows, because I'm just off some of this shit right now. But y'all got anything else we're gonna do for today? Is that it?
The credits. That's it.
Roll them on down. Thank y'all for tuning in. Next week the panel will be on on Jamie's channel. So make sure to subscribe to everyone. Bondi will be back next week on the panel, but make sure to follow all of us on all of our social medias. On Instagram and on Twitter and on everywhere. Okay, follow us all the time, everywhere. The names is right here. They're also in the description box below every single video. We will see y'all next week on Jamie's channel for the Ladies First podcast. I keep saying podcast. The Ladies First panel.
Shout out to the viewers. They be hanging in like every
shout out to the viewers for sure.
It is 3 hours for me. Y'all always here. Y'all come to each person's channel each and every week. We thank y'all so much. Like we could have easily had our panel on one person's page to just make it easier, but like no, we want to share and sharing us with y'all, okay? And just make sure to follow all of us, okay? We always post on social media, okay? On Twitter and on IG. We are interesting, okay? We will always be here. Come hook or crook, okay? We love you all. Have a good night. See you next week. Is that it, y'all? That's it? That's it?
I think that's it.
See y'all. Bye.
Bye.